Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you today, as I hope and I pray that we always do. Had some technical difficulty this morning. I would do apologize for the tardiness. Had some technical difficulty. For some reason, the internet didn't want to work like I wanted it to this morning. Good morning, Roger. Good to have you with us. The phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call if you want to be a part of the conversation. You're more than happy to be a part. We're more than happy to have you as a part of the conversation. Now we're gonna normally we get into a lot of different things before we get into the topic itself, but we're gonna jump right into the topic today. And something that's how do they say is pretty much like the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room. And we're going to talk about this morning the unjustice system here in America. Unjust system here in America in regards to the law. Injustice. I'm writing something down in the law. And I'm coming from the angle of what happened. Oh, there's been a lot of different shootings that happened over the weekend. There's been a lot of different situations that happened over the weekend, but the one that I'm specifically thinking about right now was the one that happened, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was in New York, where the young man, 18 years old, young man, went to New York, traveled, they say he traveled 10 hours. I think they said he traveled about 10 hours. Good morning, Captain Leonard. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheen. Morning, Glow family.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I had some issues. And man, I had to fight this morning, but I was trying to get this internet to work, and I knew it was working, man, because it was working on the television and everything else. But the computer, for whatever reason, just wouldn't allow me to connect on the internet. And so,
Mm.
yeah, it's crazy. Maybe he didn't want us to talk about what we're gonna talk about this morning. But Leonard, our topic is, and we're gonna jump right into the topic this morning because I know people are gonna be chiming in. They're gonna want to talk about this. They're gonna have their own opinion, which is fine. Some gonna agree, some gonna disagree. We maybe get into a couple of little heated debates this morning. But we're talking about the injustice system here in America, and I'm shining the light on what happened in New York with this young 18-year-old gentleman. And see, Leonard, you you will have an issue with me even calling him a gentleman because I know how your heart is. But this 18-year-old gentleman, man, that drove, I think they say he drove about 10 hours, whatever it was, to get to the place where he had targeted. They say he had, and now it's coming out that he had been looking and looking and looking till he found the perfect place where he can go and kill black people. His intentions was to go and kill, and he killed 10 people, nine of which were black. And his whole intention, and Leonard, he walked away. He walked away with, they locked him up, but he was able to walk away, and his life was not taken. Leonard, is there any injustice in this system that we have here in the United States?
There's always injustice in the system. Always.
Hmm.
Expect it.
Wow.
I mean, this is what happens when you have when you have several opposing communities or communities with different ideas
Hmm.
trying to approach this thing we call democracy.
Hmm.
Corruption and injustice. It's because the people that you have allowed to be in charge are corrupt and they are unjust.
Leonard,
And
but my 10 people, man. This young he killed 10 people. 10. He killed 10 people, man. And nothing happened to him. He got arrested, but Leonard, he killed 10 people, brother.
but the thing about it is, what people have to deal with is what outcome did you want?
Hmm.
Because if the outcome you want is that everyone be shot down, then you have to go for that. Then you have to support that.
Hmm.
If that's what you want, you can't hope it would have happened.
Hmm.
You have to push for it to happen,
Hmm. Wow.
whether good or bad. But everyone has to deal with their own choices, even about how you feel about this
Hmm.
situation.
My thing is, me personally, I would have rather that it not happen at all. Because
Then that's
my
where your
thing is,
energy should be,
mm-hmm,
because that's what you feel should happen. So that's what you should put your energy towards.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we get, but let's talk about the system though. The and what the way I deem it, the injustice system. You say there's always going to be. Explain that to me.
Because this, well, first of all, the system has nothing to do with what happened. That's
Mm-hmm.
one.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to look at it from this issue. This is terror. This is terror.
Mm-hmm.
If we go after this the way we go after other terrorist suspects, that's a great start.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, this terror has happened before.
Okay.
So it's not new. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's resurfacing and it's more open. I made a comment the other day. Once it became known that witches would be burned at the stake, people stopped claiming that they were witches pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So I am for the anti-lynching bill. This is my problem with the anti-lynching bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a good use for lynching. It's just who you lynch and why you're lynching them.
Mm-hmm.
People like this person need to be lynched
Wow.
or burned at the stake to send this message to those who are currently right now still planning terrorist attacks.
But we had said, I ain't gonna say we had said, but I've heard it said that the new generation is different now. With the new generation, they don't have these issues that the older generation have. The new generation is gonna change. This is an 18-year-old young man,
But
18.
we're not. It ain't like 18-year-old murderers are rare.
Yeah, but my point is, everybody was saying that the young generation, it's the stuff that was happening when the older generation die off. All this racism, all this stuff gonna die off with them. And to have someone 18 years old to do the same things, I don't know how true that is, Leonard.
That's what makes them alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes some of these people's responses absolutely ridiculous. Because racism and terrorism against blacks hasn't gone anywhere.
Mm.
I mean, it never stopped.
Wow.
So one, it amazes me why everybody black ain't fighting against this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why are you not? Why? Think about it. Anybody ask yourself why are you not a part of a movement or an effort somewhere to stop this type of behavior? Oh, what am I supposed to do? Vote, get
Mm-hmm.
decent people in place. We still don't have a federal hate bill.
Mm-hmm.
A federal hate bill.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Department of Justice is moving too slow, especially that part which is related to the Civil Rights Division.
Mm-hmm.
That is supposed to be pursuing these issues related to race. That particular department is within the government, Department of Justice. However, if you remember when you allowed that last president to be elected, he wanted to move it out because he was the type of person that supported things like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
encouraged behavior like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anybody like these people, like these wicked white races that support these things, need to be disintegrated.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the ones that continue to perpetrate this violence against people.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
There's no complicated discussion about it.
Mm. Let me go to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Oh, fairly well, and trying to do best, right?
There you go. There you go. Now we're talking about the injustice system here in America, the injustice system, and it's been very, very apparent when you have a young 18-year-old young man. We got somebody on the phone line. Caller, we coming to you in just 1 second. And the phone lines are open 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. We talk about the injustice system, Ibrahim, here in America, and to have a young person of 18 years old to drive over 10 hours. And they say that he put a 100 and some page document out there about what he wanted to do. Yeah, and did that and researched. They say he researched where he wanted to go and kill black people, and he found this store, and he went there with the intent of killing black people. Killed 10 people, 9 of which was black. Ibrahim, what is wrong with this injustice? He was walking. When I say he walked away, not from the ground, but they incarcerated him, but he was able to walk away.
He was able to walk outside,
Yeah.
surrender
Yeah.
to the police officers.
Yeah.
What just like they said about, if we had to storm the Capitol,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be all over with. I mean, for everybody. You know what I mean? Who you want to say talked about it? I mean, 100 years ago, or more, you had people like Marcus Garvey talking about it, right? You had people like, Booker T. Washington talking about it in the 1800s, on and on. So what we hear today is that this is inherent. And I believe it is a system. I believe it is the whole country. It's inherent. Because when our thing come to light, everybody got conversation. Well, why you black people got to have this? You black people getting this? You black people getting that? And there's a natural hatred, like from the last president and on and on and on. I can go back to Georgia, back to Lester Maddox. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, this is ingrained in people, ingrained into the children, and we are the enemy. We've been painted as an enemy. Even ourselves, we look upon ourselves as an enemy. We're painted as an enemy. So there's no way you can get around that, but to just clear your mind of that, and then make sure your children have the education they need to have. Regardless of the comment, the Jewish community, they have education for their children to learn the Torah, and all this, right? And how to speak the language and everything, the Hebrew, right? How come we can't do the same thing? As a group of people, there's education, there's secular education, there's technical education, and then there's, your education. You see what I'm saying? Everybody can do this, but every time we do, we say, why y'all hating on white people? White people ain't never done nothing to me. And it's a crazy thing because everything ingrained in society is against people of color.
Wow. We got someone on the phone. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's the number? What's the first 4 digits? Is that me?
That is Toya
Good
with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hello.
Toya, oh my God, we got a conversation this morning, Toya. We're talking about the injustice system here in America. The injustice system here in America. Toya, explain to me how a young 18-year-old, a young man, I'm gonna call him a young gentleman, 18 years old, could plan out something, travel 10 miles, travel whatever we would 10 miles, 100 miles, wherever we went, travel that far to go with the intent or the intentions of killing black people. Go out there and shoot and kill 10 people, 9 of which were black, and he had a 100-some page paper that he had written out already. He had already written it out, and they found all this stuff, and they say his social media was bombarded with hate stuff. How can this happen? And I don't want to see anybody. I don't want anybody to think I want to see anybody dead, but for him to kill 10 people and walk out, throw his hands up and surrender, and nothing happened other than getting arrested. Toya, what is going wrong with is something wrong with our system? Let me ask the question that way. Is something wrong with our system?
Okay, so I'm gonna go back. First of all, it's not our system. Stop. We gotta stop. They haven't stopped. You can only get away with that if you're white. Black people can't get 10 feet with a water gun. That is not our system. And we keep trying to be integrated with a system that is not for us. Yo, I think it was last year, I believe I posted the rules and regulations of Jim Crow. And one of them is white people are always right. Always. And they still operate and live by that law. They doing this just like this pandemic in our faces, do what they want to do, and that's just the way life goes. That's their system. That is not our system. So I'm sorry. I done got a hold of the Bible and read it and learned the truth. And the devil not gonna come kill me, and you gonna think that I'm not gonna kill you back in the name of a God. You're supposed to be a Christian. I'm gonna shoot you, but now you're gonna shoot me. Oh no, you're gonna go. Well, you're gonna go together. We still trying to infuse ourselves with this same system that's been disrespectful. It has been unruly. It has been unjust for all these years. I'm tired of talking about this. We've been talking about it for the last 3 years with the police. What's the difference? White policeman get to do the same thing. What's the difference? Didn't the white boy, the Rittenhour boy, Then his mother drop him off. Same issue. So we could talk about this for hours and hours and hours. Like, yo, I'm tired of talking, right? Only thing I can do now is get prepared with my slingshot and rocks. Because this conversation, I'm tired of having the same conversation in our same community, and we do nothing. We still don't form our military background. We still don't beef up our education when it comes to combat or how to be able to, military training. You don't think that we have a training to help put us or protect us in situations of violence? Of course we do. They train police and military all the time. Why are civilians not doing it? So at the end of the day, when it comes to my survival, being a black female in America, I don't leave it up to the cops. I don't leave it up to the mayor. I don't leave it up to the president. It's all me. I just my eyes open at all times. You already know the truth versus the lie.
Wow. Toussaint, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm all right. How about yourself?
Hey, doing good, man. I'm trying to get some understanding, brother. Help me get some understanding. How could this situation happen in New York, and this individual walk out, kill 10 people, planned it, laid it out. You saw how it was. They putting out evidence, and more evidence are coming forward now of how he planned it. Wrote a paper about it, like almost like he wrote a thesis on it, and say he was gonna go there with the intent, research where he wanted to go. And all this stuff is coming out in the news now. He researched where he wanted to go, found a place where he wanted to go, and quote unquote kill black people. Shot and killed 10 people, 9 of which was black, and walked out and surrendered. And they didn't buy him a hamburger. But Toussaint, what is wrong with the injustice system that we have here in America?
It won't change. And you know what else is wrong with it? We think it will. And it won't. Some folks will never change. But I say we, but they become our elected officials, judges and stuff like that. And it happens over and over again because the justice system is an injustice system. And we still ain't got it.
Wow.
That's what's wrong with it.
Wow.
We think we fit in the lie about the United States of America. That's a lie. We're not united, never was. The divided states of America. Always have been, because you got stuff like that happens because there are some that think it's their God-given right to just eliminate certain people that they just have a hatred for.
Wow.
And so, I mean, we see it everywhere. I got it on my job. Just use this for example. I got this guy that I know that, in real is that way. And I just let him hang himself every day because I ain't studying him. I'm not going to bend. I'm not going to break. I'm not going to give in to none of that. But he wished he could do me the same way. He wished he could.
Wow.
But guess what? He loved the Lord. He heard my cry, but I'm going to get him before he get me. I'm just saying.
Wow.
The people, and here's the thing about it is I don't know because I don't watch the news. It's just too much for me. It's a waste of my time to be paying attention to what goes on in the society because it don't change. I don't have to watch the news. I see it over and over again. And it's already been said how things are going to be. So I'm not ignorant to the fact. It's just, the media has a way of manipulating, being a part of the manipulated system till they give you the information you want to. They want you to know to cause you to be in the repetitive uproar.
Wow.
So anyway.
508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. We're talking about the injustice system here in America, where you have a young man, 18 years old, could plan out, travel, and participate, carry out a plan to murder quote unquote black people and kill 10 people, 9 of which was his targets were black. Charles, what is going on with, and good morning. How you doing this morning?
What's up? What's up?
What are you hearing what are you hearing that whole situation, Charles?
What are you asking? Are you asking the first thing that you asked?
Yes. Let's deal with the first one first.
Meaning that how can he walk out with his hands up?
Well, how could he do it? Let's deal with the first thing. How could he do something like that? How could a person in this day and time? Because I heard a lot of y'all on here say that when the old generation die off, all this racism stuff is going to go away.
You never heard me say that. You never heard me say that.
I didn't say you. I said I heard some of y'all on here. I did not say you.
Okay.
But my thing is this right here.
Say a lot of people.
Charles, can I finish my thought, man?
Go ahead, brother.
My thing is this right here. I've heard on here what people have said when the old generation die off, all that racism and all this stuff gonna go away. And this is an 18-year-old young man that carried out this young gentleman. I call him a young gentleman. People say I shouldn't even give him that honor.
He was a monster, but go ahead.
Why you call the man a monster, Charles?
Because he is what he is, man. You know, you don't need to play with words.
Pull your camera up a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, he was a monster. So, only a fool, and I hate to say it like this, and I'm gonna be straightforward. Only a fool would think that racism will stop because of certain people die off. It has never happened like that. It's never gonna happen. Racism will never die off. People don't understand. I don't understand. I guess y'all people have the pie in the sky, but racism will never die. That's why I don't worry about racists. Because I don't have time to worry about what racists do and how they act. As long as you know, because a racist is gonna do what a racist is gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You know, I buy a puppy and I put him on the carpet. He gonna do puppy stuff on the carpet. A racist is gonna do what a racist is gonna do. You know, and like the brother just said, get them before they get you. But they're gonna do what they're gonna do. As for him walking out, because I heard you ask the question, him walking out with his hands up. That's nothing new, man. People, I don't know why y'all think it's a white thing or a black thing. It's a thing that happens, man. I mean, the subway shooter planned his out for days. You know what I'm saying? And walked out with his hands up, or walked out in handcuffs. And they put his hat back on his head for him. So this is, I mean, when you look, if you can look at something and you can marginalize it, you can make it seem a certain way, just like the brother just said, the media will make you believe something to get you riled up and roared up. But they didn't speak nothing about all the other mass shootings that happened this month. You didn't hear about them.
Well, I've heard of a few. I've heard of a few. A few happened this month. A few of them, and I say I'm specific. When I started the broadcast this morning, I say I'm specifically talking about the one that happened in New York. But
specifically, one did happen in New York. Specifically, that is true. But like I said, when just like Toussaint just said, when we're told certain things and it's pushed in our ears so much, you're being programmed to react a certain way, and your feelings are being programmed to be a certain way. Not saying that you should not feel sad about the people who got killed, but I'm not going to be more sad about a person that got killed by white people than I am about a person that got killed by black people. I'm going to be sad about any person that got killed. I'm not going to be more mad. Well, I probably am. Let me stop that.
I'll go to say something, because you done said many times before on this broadcast that I care more about my people because I'm black. So if
a black person kill a black person, I'm more mad than if a white person kill a black person. I'm more mad that a black kill a black because that's my teammate, supposedly. Okay. You understand? The Falcons we don't try to throw the ball to the Saints on purpose. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going out there. It happens, but you ain't just going out there throwing the ball to the Saints every time you get the ball.
Now hold on, John. I got to like.
And I ain't trying to talk about the Falcons now.
No, yeah, you are. Yes, you are. But one of the teams that you included was it just happened to be Leonard's team, the Saints. Now, Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
You know what? That's the truth. They gonna play against each other. The Saints gonna try to score. The Falcons gonna try to score.
Go ahead,
this
Leonard.
year ain't nobody gonna score. They both gonna suck. But anyway, though.
Oh Lord, Leonard.
Well, no comment about the football part of
it. Because he knows the truth. Both of them terrible this year.
But I think people need to understand, what are you going to do? I hope you plan on doing something except crying. I really do.
Good words. That's what the lady was saying.
I mean, I hope you plan on doing something else besides sitting around wondering how it happened. You know how it happened. It's been happening. We got plenty of 18-year-old killers around here. A lot of them sitting in jail as well.
Yeah.
So you have to remember the media sell commercials. Okay. So one, they're gonna keep this in front of your face as long as you keep tuning in. What you need to be doing, every church should have security by now. Every black church should have an ongoing security right now. They should have had it the last shooting. Somebody with other eyes on the situation. You need to know what you got. People running for office that support this type of thing. You got people in charge in your local courthouses and everything that support this type of behavior. So be aware. You should really understand what should be done, but you won't go and you won't support a federal hate crime. Do understand what the issue is. And every time something happens, you're like, well, why don't we have this and why don't you have that? It's because the powers that be you allow not to do it. I don't care if they red, white, lily stripe. It don't matter. If you sit there one term and I don't like what you're doing, I'm voting against you the next one.
You have to go.
You got to go if you're not doing nothing. If you're not on our page, if you're not trying to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, you shouldn't even have friends like that. You shouldn't tolerate it at your school board. You shouldn't tolerate it at your local city council, commissioner meetings, or anything. That's why you need to be there. If you were in these places, instead of thinking, it's going to be what it's going to be, and the system we ain't supposed to be in the system, and we ain't supposed to be that, and you going to be what's for dinner.
Wow.
You could have had a federal hate crime had you put decent, responsible lawmakers in place. You see the enemy. Watch who the enemy is going to support. They're going to support the shooter. They're going to make up excuses for the shooter. They're going to push things like white replacement theory against critical race theory. They're going to constantly incite fear in people is what they're going to do. Now, which side are you on?
Wow.
Because it's not about them now, because it's about you right now. So anybody need to be talking about themselves and what they're going to do. You can't hurt for those people any more than they're hurting for themselves. What are you going to do now? Are you going to teach your children and teach your community and bring it to your church's awareness and those places that we go to gather that someone needs to be watching while we build the temple? Someone needs to be watching. We need to be taking turns. We cannot trust them to watch them. What are you going to do? Or are you going to sit around hopeless crying, oh, we can't do nothing. We can't do. There is something you can do. And you should have been doing it.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Toya with a T. Talk to me, sis. Toya. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm on mute. So I'm in a weird place right now, right? Because I love humans, right? And I don't want any human to die, but I understand life, and sometimes things happen. Sometimes you can do things in a human to take you up out of here. I get all that. Not talking about like just racism, just being a prejudiced prick, and you just want to kill somebody because you're evil and wicked. And I'm talking about like real stuff, like steal somebody's money, rape somebody's child. You know what I'm saying? Like there are things that make humans become violent, and other humans be like, well, I'm not trying to justify it, but it's kind of understandable. But the place I'm at in America with Black people right now, for me, because you're right, my whole life I've been seeing it, but I'm a little bit softer sometimes when it comes to injustice than us, and I'm going to tell you why, right? The countless amounts of innocent Black people in jail that they fed a Black person that killed somebody. I don't care what they say about Black folks no more. I don't care, because there's too many lives. Do you know who Archie Williams is? Anybody? Okay. I had the privilege of meeting Archie Williams, who was a wrongfully convicted Black male accused of murder, rape, and a couple of other charges, and spent 37 years in prison for it. And they knew that he didn't do it. And he still did time. Well, at any rate, God is good. When I met this young man, he still praises the Lord. He went on America's Got Talent, sung, and got some great connections. The fact of the matter is,
I saw him sing on that show. I saw him. Yeah.
Okay.
Tore it up.
All right. Fact of the matter is, we have countless Black people in jail for crimes that they said that we committed and didn't. Haven't they been doing this since Emmett Till? So as far as I am concerned, I'm gonna have little kick love when some of these people of American positions say that Black people did stuff. I'm not trying to say that Black people don't. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that the history on where we've been, they lie. So I'm not gonna be running and say that a Black person killed somebody and say I didn't know all the facts. I like for real. I'm not gonna do that. But again, it's different when you're dealing with a white person, right? Like right now, if R. Kelly was to get let out and he molested some more kids, everybody finna be mad, right? Because he went out and did the same thing. So it's kind of the same way with this shooting somebody. Like this is what they do. And to distract us and try to say, Black people kill Black people. That ain't what we talking about. We can't fix the problem if you keep trying to tell me, oh, well, I don't get mad at me smoking crack. Okay, you smoke weed, you smoke cigarettes. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is how easy it is for white people, white young people, to get weapons and hurt and endanger Black people or people of color because of their skin. And when those situations come up, stop talking about Black people killing Black people. That's not fair. We have to address the real mental issues at hand. And the mental issues are, if there is any humans of any color that are seeking to hurt other humans because of their color, Houston, we have a problem. And it's just majority of white people that it seems like that happens. So we got to focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah. Yes.
We have an issue in America with cultural, mental issues when it comes to white and Black. And until we accept it and acknowledge it and find something to do about it, we're going to continue to have the problem. It's not about getting rid of racism. It's about identifying these things in the same way they identify an at-risk youth. They need to identify a potentially dangerous white male threat to any other race.
Wow. Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I hear what everybody's saying, the sister's saying, right? And like I try to tell a lot of young men that vehemently disagree with me, is the mind control things that exist in them, is slavery within inside. We're enslaved. And we're enslaved to the point is that we want to disagree with anything good that Black people did in the past, right? We don't want to equate it to the day. We want to, I talk to people, want to make life look harder, right? But it's a simple process. We have to rebuild a nation, right? We have to build it ourselves from ground up now in the midst of a war, right? Because we have another choice. We have to build the barriers. So we have to build that fort. If you don't build that fort, even if you're in battle, you start digging ditches or whatever, right? You know, you'll get overrun. Now, this is an ethnocracy. Ethnocracy is same as an ethnic democracy, right? It's based on for those people, for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Now, and it's the idea and the mentality. And Black people have the same idea and mentality when it comes to us, right? We don't love ourselves, so why should we think? Why should it be a surprise that somebody white think they got the God-given right to go and massacre some Black people? Why did any black man or Black woman go out there and kill a bunch of their children and a bunch of Black people in the neighborhood that had nothing to do with it, or accidentally shoot somebody? What do you think is happening? Atlanta went buck wild. You know what I mean? On these killings and everything. I've been to different things, but anyway, this is what's happening now. We have to really learn to help each other and work with each other. You know, unity comes through people working and have basic needs. We can sit up here. I've seen brothers training all the time. Some of them train, but they just it's almost like a show, because they got rifles and handguns and AK-47. Some look pretty there. Some of them look disciplined, right? But man, they got anti-aircraft weapons. They got bombs. You know, they'll blow up the whole neighborhood to kill one person. We've seen.
Hold on one second. Hey, Leonard.
Yes.
I'm going to step away for a second and get me a cup of coffee. Take Ibrahim, finish your thought, and Leonard, take it for me for a minute, okay?
Sure.
All right. And good morning to you too, Leonard.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I heard what you're saying, man. See, you know, everybody thinks that everybody in the black community and the people in the white community don't see no reason. We don't have justice among ourselves. Like the sister was saying, when a black person go to court, you ain't got to worry about too much of white people. We already got them guilty. You pick them up for a crime, you know, and I've been around some of my relatives and stuff like that, and they say he guilty. Look at him, he guilty. They got him. Why they arrest him? He ain't guilty. You know what I'm saying? And it's automatic. What did he do? What the victim did to get killed. You know, so as long as we think like that, why do we expect anybody else to think like that? We call people Uncle Toms that got a job, right? Or got some things that we don't have, right? And then we always run into the people that we say is oppressing us and say, oh, oppressor, please, master, please, can I have this? You know, and it gets sickening to me. And we know the police are back, I don't know how old some of you guys are, but up until the 70s in Atlanta or 80s, black police officer could not arrest a white person.
And that's what people don't understand. I think one of the things, that's why I can't stand uneducated conversation. It's because we have to get the evidence on the table, the facts of the matter, instead of always be caught up in our emotions, acting like we got to create some other new thing when we ain't really resolved the old thing. What more people don't understand, this has been a problem since Reconstruction. Now, why would you allow your enemy to be in any seat of authority at all? But this is what has happened. This is what led to the legalization of Jim Crow, the legalization of racism in the system in the first place. It's because too many people will look the other way and not get involved.
But you know, Leonard, you made a very important point, and I be trying to teach history. History I teach is in spite of what all we were put on, what we did, and we don't know that. You know, I remember when Ruth first came out, my sons were teenagers, right? And they said, "Oh, Dad, look what happened! Look what happened!" I said, "No, that's that man's history. That's that man's story, right?"
Right.
Now, let me tell you about our family. We, you know, like people say, we didn't fight; we were passive. We were ignorant, savage, brought slaves. Our own black people say today they say that. Their kids still say that, right? Mm-hmm. The people in the church tell you that. But the countries that they came from, these people were metallurgists. You know, they know how to make gold and copper. They know how to mine for it. They know how to make steel, right? They knew how to plant. Agriculture. They knew how to the animal husbandry, the horses, camel, cow, whatever. They were skilled people. That's why they were needed. They were a resource. See, if we look at them in a money perspective, why would you go get somebody ignorant savage? You got to beat and whip and train, and you got already trained people. You can beat and whip, make them do what you want to do for free. You
and
know?
as you mentioned, like with the people doing these certain things, mm-hmm. and with the training back then, mm-hmm. you being an elder, you remember once people addressed the issues and civil rights came into fact, folks went about what? Trying to feed their families and take care of their people, get educated, and move out of poverty.
Yeah,
you were already taught that racism was going to be there when you got there.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I believe we need to do more is to continue to fight. We don't need to regress. We need to adapt to a new terrain. We need to adapt to strategies that they have improved on and go after that. What I don't understand, and maybe you can help me, and Charles, I want to know, why won't people go after the enemy?
Because they think, because the enemy is hidden from them.
Where they hiding, Charles?
Right with them, right in front of them.
Exactly. We see it every day. The enemy ain't not hiding no more.
It's right in front of them.
If you heard earlier, I made that comment. When it became common to burn witches at the stake, people stopped claiming to be witches.
Right. But see, you got to look at it like this, Leonard, man. You don't have to understand, but I know you can see certain things.
Most definitely.
On how people do things and how people move. The majority of people are going to move the same because of laziness. You understand? Meaning that I don't have to think to do this for myself. I don't have to think to do those things for myself. When this happened right here, I knew it was going to be a big subject because, number one, nobody's going to wait and see. First of all, we're going to trust the media and what they say. Nobody's going to wait at all and see. And then on top of that, other things happen that, just like Brother Ibrahim was saying, that we should look at ourselves first. When you look at things like what you said earlier about letting these things happen in the neighborhoods and stuff like that, those things actually do come from not voting the little things. A lot of that comes from that way. You know, when we don't vote, we don't pay attention to things like that, and we let it slide in our system. And then we say we need to change the whole system. No, you need to change how you handle things. The whole system needs, you know, you can't burn it and then think you're going to rebuild it. No, keep fighting like you just said. Keep fighting for what you believe in, but you got to fight for the smallest amount. People fight when you get your shoes stepped on, but you won't fight for other things. You get it?
That's my exact point, actually, Charles. Is we got to prioritize the fight and come together and strategize against the enemy.
You know, the strategy, Leonard, is the same, right? But see, we got all the information. We had the information, but the main thing is about using it or putting it to work. You got an idea and a concept and a knowledge, put it to work. Because as long as you maintaining it and we still try to figure out things, there's some simple, basic things. Right now, we need to address the needs of the basic of the people.
Okay.
Food, basic needs.
Hold on, gentlemen. Hold on, gentlemen. Y'all forgot all about my phone lines. Y'all forgot all about my callers on the phone line.
How we get?
Well, that's your job.
Yeah, that's your job.
No. Yeah, evidently you didn't hear Charles when I said I stepped away to get him a cup of coffee. Evidently,
we heard you. That's why we was talking to each other until you got back.
But
I ain't answering no calls.
but we got Tucson. We got Tucson on the phone line now. We have people on the phone.
So let me ask you this real quick. Like when that happened, how can we is it somewhere on here that we can say, okay, you talk and you talk, or do they already hear us?
They already hear you. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I didn't know.
Yeah, they can hear.
I thought you had to hit a button, man.
No.
I really did.
No, you just have just straight go to them and include them into the conversation.
Okay,
but y'all did good. Y'all was building, but at the same time,
did you get a cup of coffee? You ain't make it.
But what we left off on is Brother Ibrahim was talking about strategy, because I brought it up. We have to adapt and move as such. We under attack every day, and you know what it takes? It takes education.
Mm-hmm.
It takes knowing that you are part of something from your home. It takes all these things together to make the best fighter possible. So you will notice it. These people not hiding. These people are standing up and proposing laws that will automatically disenfranchise you, and a lot of you stand around and do nothing. I mean, think about it. If you started making these moves at your local school board, then you know what? Go up there and see if there's some racism up there. You would be surprised. You ain't but two or three days away from the next news broadcast.
Let me go to my phone lines. Hold on. Tucson, what's on your heart? Rico, coming to you next, brother. What's on your heart, Tucson?
No, I'll be just listening, man, because they right. I mean, and then we got lay down brothers. I call lay down brothers and sisters. That they just kind of like a,
you know what they say?
Yes, balls.
Yeah.
Yes, balls. And then not only that, there's some I call them lay down brothers too, because I call them sisters too. You do your own folk like that. So they figure if you do your folks like that, we can do it too. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you call it a catch-22, but sometimes we are our own worst enemy. There are some people, and you take it like it is. I'm just part of the conversation. You got some people that I don't care what neighborhood you put them in, they jack it up because they jacked up.
Yeah,
because they jacked up. That's
right.
But
I know we're not talking about that.
No.
But what we are talking about is the fact that here's a person that can do something like we're talking about, and society say, well, y'all do y'all own people like that as an excuse for it being all right. And we kick that can that we've been kicking since I've been in existence.
Wow.
Because we got some people that have the tendency to believe that I don't know how to say it, but yeah, they just as bad as them. Because they are African American Klan members.
Wow, African American Klan members. Lord Jesus. Okay. Rico, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. Welcome to a new day, fellas.
Hey, welcome to you as well, sir. Welcome to you as well, Rico. We're talking about this injustice system here in America. This injustice system here in America, where you can have an individual travel as far as he traveled, plan it out, say, I'm going here and I'm going to kill black people. And not only do he plan it out, but he engulfed and involved himself in it to the point where he killed 10 people, 9 of which are black. And not to mention his social media and all kind of different things that's going on, man. It was a strategic plan on his part to take out certain individuals. Rico, what and walked away, surrendered, came on out, got in the car, and they drove him on to jail. Rico, what do you see in this whole situation?
Well, the biggest thing I see is business as usual. It's going to continue to happen. And it's going to happen for more than the reasons that everybody's saying, because the big elephant in the room is these devils comfortable. Just think about it. You don't see us doing that. You don't see too many other cultures or races of people doing that. But throughout the history that we know of, there's a lot of stuff that you've seen them do that we wouldn't do and other people wouldn't do. Completely inhumane. So now, once again, they showed us who they are. Dylan Roof did it, and we forgot about it. We don't even talk about it no more. Not only did he do it, but he walked into the house of the God that they taught y'all. The same God and missionary work that they do when they go and do this to everybody when they colonized, when they went through the Caribbean. As recently as 1958, when they went to Hawaii, same thing. We come under the name of God and peace and love and tranquility and benevolence. Then they come and bomb you up, kill you, give you disease, and take your stuff. And they're still comfortable doing it. And see, the only thing that will stop somebody from doing stuff like that is fear. But the reason why they won't stop, because we are too afraid to fight fire with fire. We can identify cops and sheriffs and politicians, different people, George Zimmerman. We can identify all these people that get a kick out of killing black folks. And they still walk around here living, but our young soldiers out here talking about smoking their ops that look just like them. So they're distracted and they're scared because they are too dependent on their daddy. The same daddy that feels comfortable has been feeling comfortable enough to do what they want to do to them. They're too comfortable. And they're too afraid to, or the dad is too comfortable. And the son is the stepson. You know, somebody gave me an analogy yesterday. It's like we are the stepchildren. And we keep on trying to get the love from our stepfather that he will give his own child, but he ain't going to give it to us. But we in denial because that's the only type of support that we've had. We are dependent on them. We've been programmed and trained to conform to what they think we are. Now we dependent on them, and we want them to love us and support us and treat us just as good as they treat themselves. But we the stepchildren.
Wow.
And we don't want to accept that. So, you know, with that being said, I think we pretty much use every tactic possible besides going up in their stores and doing the same thing to them. I think we've done every tactic possible except investigating and finding out who some of these people that feel these ways and have these ideologies, and not investigating, finding out who their families are, terrorizing them, making them afraid, excluding them. We welcome them with open arms so much. As soon as a white person come around us and they could dance and rap, we go returning suicide flips off building. Woo, look at him. He the best I ever seen. Because we think their standard really means that we have made it. We think if they accept what we do, then it really has value. And really and truly it does. It has monetary value because that's about the only time they're going to come deal with us. So now we value the same thing they value. And to make sure we don't mess that up, that opportunity to have the things that they have, to be the high black society like they have high white society, we rather let them have a pass. But that's human nature. People, for some reason, give those that sit on pedestals above them a little bit more of a pass than they give other people.
Wow.
So it's just really a lot of this is human nature. It's psychology, on being programmed to be submissive and passive to the dominant power, not realizing that you got just as much power as the dominant power. You might just have to get just as low down and grimy. You might have to investigate, find somebody, climb in their bed, take their children and let them know, hey, okay, this is the way you want to carry yourself. This is the way you want to do people in our community. You fixing to have to sacrifice some stuff to continue being that way. I guarantee you somebody start conforming and start wanting to fit in and say, well, you know what? I'm not like that. But they have no deterrent. They have no deterrent. So they're very comfortable coming into our community shooting us up.
Wow.
Because we welcome them. Come on in and pray with us.
Wow.
Come on in and shout with us. We don't, this is my motto. After that situation happened with James Byrd Sr., y'all know that one of those guys was his friend.
Yeah.
One of the guys that helped tie him to the back of that truck, allowed it to happen, was his friend, a lifelong friend. And that friend didn't step up and stop that savage from the idea of tying him to the truck. Matter of fact, the other two agreed with it. And the minute I saw that one of them will still do that to us was the day that I decided that every white person I encounter has to prove to me that they aren't racist. I ain't giving one of them the benefit of the doubt. Every last one of them that come around me, they have to prove that they aren't. And they don't have to, but I have to see it.
Good deal. Let me keep this thing.
My assumption is that they have that in them. I'm not going to assume that they aren't like that right off the top, because history has proven that they are the biggest deceivers and tricksters on the planet, on the face of this earth. And if they've been comfortable doing it since way back then, why would they stop doing it now?
Good deal. Hold right there, Rico. Let me pull some more people into this conversation, because you put a lot out there just now. Charles, what's on your heart, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I look at people as people.
Fix your camera, though, brother.
All right. I look at people as people, man, and evil people are gonna be evil people. I don't know. I know, like Rico was just saying, what history tells about certain things, but then again, we don't know all of history. You understand? There's certain things that we just don't know. You can talk to a person from somewhere else, and they'll tell you a different thing of history that they've lived around and saw, and they will say which is more detrimental to them than what's to you. So Rico is right about that. History do tell who, what, where, when, and why. As for the subject that we're talking about, dude walking off, like I just said before, he's not the first, but he's not the only. It's not only white people that do that. It's not only white people that plan these things. People are sick, and that's just what it is. It is what it is. People are sick. This dude, and I'm not talking about sick as of in, oh, he's sick, we gotta feel sorry for him. No, he's the type of sick.
Wicked.
You know how
the word is wicked.
No, listen to me. I'm saying sick, like, you know how you get gangrene and you got to cut that hand off? He's sick, like he got gangrene on his head and he need to be, get it removed. You understand? So I don't, people like that.
You talking about killing?
This dude is, well, let's just take it to what Lynn just said. Wicked, sick. He need to be put to, he need a dirt nap. Let's go there. Anyway, he's a bad dude. There are bad people out there like that.
Charles, let me ask you something, because you saying something that's very interesting to me, and I want to go a little deeper into it. You say that he need a dirt bath and stuff like that. Now
I said dirt bath. I said dirt nap.
Dirt nap. Okay. Either way, dirt. You need to go to the dirt. Let's put it like that. But my thing is this right here. If that be the case, what would that do to curve the rest of them out there, or would that curve him? The rest of the people that think like him, be it black, white, orange, purple, whatever. What would that do to curve that situation?
All right, check it out. What did Leonard said something? I think he was off the phone. I don't know if you heard it, but what Leonard said about witches and the witch hunts.
Yeah, I heard it. I was listening.
Okay, same thing. You understand? If the consequences in society today is a lot less than it used to be. To me, people are more passive than they want to take him to the hospital and check him out and what's wrong with him and why did you do this? Why did you do that? If you're caught red-handed, I believe it's not a why about it, you know, or it should be aware. Where are we gonna put his body at? You understand? And that's in any kind of situation. I don't care the color of the skin. I don't look at people the same way as other people do, but I don't give. People are just evil people, man. This dude's an evil person. People are not gonna make me react just because he killed black people. I'm not gonna react a certain way just because he did that. The enemy's supposed to do what the enemy does. That's how I look at it. It's not that I'm not sensitive to what he did because he killed people.
Okay. Does it matter that and I can understand what you're saying. I can agree with a piece of what you said there as well. But then I'm gonna go to Ibrahim and go around. But does it matter that his intended target, he had an intended target? That doesn't matter to you? Yeah, that doesn't matter to you at all. That he had an intent. It's not that he want to go out there and kill people. He had an intended target. He said, "I'm going to go out there and I'm going to kill black people." Specifically, who he said he was going to kill was black people.
But what does a racist supposed to do though?
I'm asking you that's different for the question I'm asking you. I say, does that curve the way you think about it? Because he said he intentionally wanted to kill. He didn't say he wanted to kill people. He wanted to kill black people. That doesn't make a difference.
I mean, he just wanted. No, to me, the way I look at it is that he's an evil person who wants to kill black people. So if a black person died by the hand of a black person, and I know people don't want to hear this, it's the same to me if a black person dies at the hand of a white person. Okay, a black person is killed. Hold on, I know it's the same. It's not the same. But to me, hold on, can I finish my statement? Because the end's going to tell you what I'm saying. To me, if a black person is killed altogether, I'm hurt. You understand? I'm not, and I'm gonna use this word, and I know it's gonna piss some people off. I don't care who like me. I'm not feminine like that. You don't have to like me. I don't care who like me. I raised my kids to not care who like me. You understand? But I have to understand people who don't like me. I understand that people don't like me. I understand that. Why I understand there's white people out there who don't like me. I understand that those are the type of people that I do have to I will have my radar out for. I understand there are Indian people out there who don't like me. I understand that are people who don't like me because of my skin color. I know this. White, Asians, I know this. I know people don't like me because of my skin color. And people who would want to do harm to me because of my skin color. I do know that. I know that for a fact. But for them not liking me, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like me because my feelings, I don't care how your feelings don't, the way you feel about me don't change the feelings about me and myself. Now, am I going to put myself, am I going to be a watchful person on a person who's white that don't like me compared to a person who's black that don't like me? I'm going to look at them the same way. You trying to do harm to me. If a white person got a gun at me and a black person got a gun at me and an Asian person got a gun at me, who do I kill first? I'm gonna try to get all three of them. But who I'm gonna be mad at the most is the black person. Because it's two against it's three against one. But if you get on my side, it's 2 against 2.
Okay, that's your viewpoint. Let me go to here and give the phone number. The phone number is 508-924-3521. And I'm saying it because Robert, I'm reading your comment here, and he said that and this is from one of the apps that we have. He said sorry when he pointed the gun at a white person. Say he pointed the gun at a white person and he immediately pulled back and said sorry, and went on with what he was doing. Wow, Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I understand what Charles is saying because I'm against injustice. I'm against murder. I'm against violence. I'm against those things. So those are where my energies are. You're not going to knock me off my square. You're not going to do that. You're not going to try to control my feelings and make me feel like I should be so fearful and scared of you and blah. No, I'm going to hit you head on. I'm coming at you. That's why I'm a member of an organization trying to do something to fight various ills in the community. Once you stop looking at things through the lens of race all the time, you get to work on real solutions. You understand? This is domestic terrorism. That is what it should be called, and that is how it should be pursued. The motivation is race. See, you all have always, and it's common for black folks to act as if there's no such thing as individual psychology or an issue with individuals who are just thrown off.
Mm-hmm.
They come in all different colors. And what motivates them to do certain things is what's going on in their head. I'm not saying they didn't shoot all of us. We need to deal with who shot them and the community that they were shot in and how it happened and what we can do to protect against the next terrorist attack. Think how simple-minded it is to say, oh, why did he get to walk away? He didn't walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted something else to happen. That's your psychology playing a part on your decision. Now, if the way you translate that into something that is actually what I would say in line with what the outcome that you want, do you believe that everyone who surrenders should be shot? Do you believe that?
Mm.
See, when you lock yourself in that box of race, when you trap yourself in race, it's hard to get out. It's very hard to get out. And then people will criticize everything you say, every solution, or what have you. That's why I try to remain as straightforward and moderate as possible, using information about what actually happened, not what happened in my mind, what actually happened, because that's how you attack the problem. One right now, we're looking at why Facebook or why some social media platforms have nurtured this sentiment that this young man used to motivate what he did. How is it acceptable to still have hate groups and operate this way? If he was killed, how do you know what's next? Or if he's a part of some other group that is planning other things? Treat it like what it is. It is terrorism.
Do you think he's going to tell you, Leonard?
It does not matter what I think.
No, but do you realistically, do you think if he's a part of an organization that's doing some stuff like that, and you capture him and you lock him up, do you think he's going to really tell what's going on or what his organization is trying to do? Is he going to reveal those secrets from the organization to locked up on what? Or
he might.
I don't. Yeah, he's 18 years old. They got ways to make you talk. Believe that.
Mm-hmm.
He might. And that is the thing about it. People are so resistant to what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not how you need to feel. What do you need to do? Your feelings gonna change in the next 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that he's going to and that's just me. I don't think he's going to divulge that information. If he's a diehard,
there's a lot of people who thought they weren't going to divulge information.
He went to that extent that he went to do the things that he wanted to do. He's locked. I think he's locked in.
He ain't but 18.
Bro, he only 18, man.
But see,
you can tell he has a mental issue.
You would also say that. And see, now I'm not gonna give him that. I'm not gonna give him that mental issue card. I'm not gonna give him that. He knew what he was doing. He carried it out to a point. He strategically carried that thing out. You know, he was smart enough to carry it out the way he carried it out and make sure that it happened the way he wanted it to happen.
That's what most people do.
I'm not gonna give him that pass.
That's what most people do.
He don't get no pass, but he gonna tell though.
Mm-hmm.
He'll tell
because he wanna talk.
Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
He gonna tell.
I don't know.
What happened to me? What happened to me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ibrahim. Go ahead, brother. Rico, come to you next.
Hey, Jones and Charles said some very valuable things, right? But I like what Jones said, right? You cannot pin people to race, you can pin them to ideology. You know what I mean? But see, the thing is that we don't look at the real problem, see, because it's based on need. It's based on resources, right? The more limited and costly resources get, the less people you want to see benefiting from any gifts or resources that you feel like taken away from you. They always complain about we taking away their job, the Mexicans taking away their job. We all locked into the same mindset that somehow that their color, their skin, or their ethnicity means that they're against us and we against them, right? And we're against each other for the same thing. We compete for resources. You know what I mean? So once our people understand that, the best way we cannot depend on the establishment, the white establishment, to help us with our problems. I say, man, somebody depend on another race to help them is against the human existence, right? Survival. Mm-hmm. So So we have to really look at this from perspective, right? Why we can't do for ourselves? How come everything got to end? We got this government, the government. Why we in like, well, this happened, so we will make sure this won't happen because we're gonna do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do this ourselves. We're gonna take it upon ourselves to protect us. We're gonna take it upon ourselves to build for us. We're gonna take it upon ourselves anything that we can't get in resources. We're gonna develop our own resources and get that. We could be competitive, but we cannot be ignorant to the fact is that the most basic needs that we have is controlled and maintained and distributed among the very people we call it indicators. That's what we turn to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So as long as we keep doing that now, they know about the boy. The boy read a whole manifesto, 180 pages, right? You know, he done spoke already. You know, they're gonna pick him and prod him, but they say terrorist, but they gonna treat him like they treat a little young brother going up in there, 14, 15 years old. They gonna call him, he gonna say, I want a lawyer. Or he might say, I confess, I want to give it all, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway it goes, he gonna come out looking like some poor, disturbed white boy that was misled and misdirected. And the next time it happens, you're gonna hear the same conversation. Like we talking about that boy in Minnesota, man. He talking about the Ahmaud Arbery case, right? All is similar. And it's a case down here in Savannah, but ain't nobody even picked up on. That's a young man got killed by this white guy. He told the police that he killed him in self-defense. And he had a girlfriend, she said the same. And the one witness was dead. And they arrested the boy free. You know what I'm saying? So things like this. This is the South. This is everywhere in the country. This is America, right? You have to understand that the people are driven to what they want and need. You can talk and be friends with somebody, and the next day he putting a gun in your back. That's black or white. But the reason it is because you're in competition. You know, you might be. I was Buddy Buzzford guy. He always kept like want to be up under every girlfriend I had, right? Every woman I had. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so eventually we had to break camp. You know, I don't know if he just like he thought was helping me or whatever. I didn't help. I didn't need. But see, this is what it is, right? You never know what a person is thinking. You know what I mean? And why they're doing it. But it's always based on society. You know, your importance, and you'll lean on to somebody you think that's greater important than you. So you can be part of the glam. You hug on to them. You know what I mean? You get the recognition, acceptance. You know, exactly. So we gotta learn to turn to our own people, man. Our history, the history we get now is always slavery. Always they didn't do this, they didn't do that. These young kids saying, oh, they didn't do that in the 60s. They want to be next to white people. Hey, they want to hug white people. That wasn't the case of it. That wasn't the case. You know, but we let this narrative go on and on. So that means that we're weak, we're stupid, we can be misled. But I'm not stupid because I think this. And you sound just like somebody that's been misled too. You know, in a different direction, right? But the only direction we can sit is why don't we put all this into action, like actually doing something. Like I go out to a bunch of homeless people I've been going out to. I be asking them. People just come in, and people come in right and good-hearted, dump food on this, that, and get the hell out of there. You know what I mean? But they got real problems, man. I go up there and try to deal with it. Yesterday I got told me it's time me to go, right? You know, they just really got game, but see, it's just like a microcosm society. So how come we can't get these people to help themselves? We can learn from this thing where they will help anybody help themselves, right? Any community, we got to learn to do it for ourselves, irregardless of circumstance, irregardless of lack of anything. If we don't have nothing but he got a bean, I got a bean, whatever. We put it together and make them soup. You know what I mean? We eat collectively. We talking about how poor everybody is and how broke, how the food. Why don't we buy food collectively? Why don't we buy food together?
Good deal. Good deal. And let's do that. I want to keep this thing going. Rico, what's on your heart? We got a couple other callers that just came in. We got our Badger on the line with us as well. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I was hearing everything everybody was saying, man, and you know, we ain't got to agree. You know, I agree to a certain extent, but I do think it goes beyond individual people just wanting to kill another person. We're dealing with American Nazis. Remember what Hitler wanted to do? Hitler wanted to exterminate a whole race of people. That wasn't no individual thing. That was you trying to get rid of a specific group.
Yeah.
So you have to look at that differently. This boy pretended that he was homeless the day before to scope out. He did it strategically. That's how they do it. He 18. And he had all of this sense and all this strategy in his mind to accomplish his goal. And then all of a sudden we were like, oh, he 18, he'll chill. No, that's a different 18-year-old.
Exactly.
That boy been trying. He been studying. This is his passion. He don't want to just kill humans. Oh, you're white, you're not black. He want to kill us. So guess what we got to do? Quit being naive. Quit being passive and submissive. Quit being scared. And tell our children, look, watch out for these folks, man. They'll come around and they'll rap and they'll sing and dance and they'll play basketball. They'll do everything that you do to get in good with you. And they'll take everything and slaughter you. They want to exterminate us. Some of them not as extreme. Some of them just want to separate. But I don't know too many black people that act out like that. But what'll happen is that this will continue to happen. Like Abraham just said, until the next time. It's going to continue to happen because some things we just refuse to want to accept. And it makes sense. There's a lot of scared black men. I'm going to tell you something. Black men have been effeminized since them devils was raping them in front of their kids, book breaking them. You don't think that's when it started? Don't you look at him. Don't you look at her like that. Boss gonna kill you. Master this, master that. You got to be submissive and passive to survive, and I can understand how that happened. But now we're hearing it today in eloquent and educated talk. Because all this stuff everybody's saying is still not going to deter one of those extreme savages from targeting us specifically and doing more inhumane things that will give you an example of what they have done for the last 400 years and show you that they are comfortable doing it.
Wow.
Under the name of God. These, I remind you, yeah, we do it in our own neighborhoods, but I don't think those people that shoot those innocent bystanders are targeting those innocent bystanders. They're targeting their so-called quote-unquote ops. Might be somebody's child caught in the crossfire, but they weren't targeting that child. But when you got people that target people like Hitler targeted the fake Jews, or like this boy went and targeted certain people yesterday, oops, my bad, you're not white. Or like Dylan Ruth targeted a black church. Man, stop talking so scary, man. The reality is that they targeting us. This is still the reality we live in. Yeah. I hate to see us die at each other's hands too. But I don't think that there's other black people just wanting to target other black people because they black. I think black people target other black people because they might have an issue with each other, whether it's simple or complex. It's still a personal issue.
And that's
this
one of the
boy
things.
Here didn't have a personal issue with an individual. He just had an ideology in his head that he wanted to be like Hitler and take as many of us out as possible. That old woman from Alabama, that security guard, the man that was innocently taking people to the grocery store, just doing kind deeds for the community. He didn't care. He just knew that he wanted to get rid of many black people if he could. And he went through a plan. As a matter of fact, I think he tried to plan to shoot up a school before then and got caught.
Wow.
And still was able to let this happen. So that's a comfort zone. One thing I got to say, we are all human beings, but you don't see us doing that.
Exactly.
Shout out to Christopher Dorner and Michael Xavier Johnson, though, because they knew how to go back and fight that power. They weren't just talking.
508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Robert, I see you over there, brother. Appreciate you, man, all the gifts that you're bringing forth. And give us a call, man, 508-924-3521. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we're talking about the situation that happened in New York, man. 10 people were killed, 9 of which was black. And he went out and he intentionally targeted. He said he wanted to kill black people. He mapped out the whole plan, did his research, found out where he wanted to go, where he wanted to kill these people at, and carried it out. And I have an issue with people saying, well, he had mental issues. He was smart enough to do that, Cassandra. He was smart enough to carry it out. He was smart enough to complete his mission. But a lot of time they're going to try to say that he had mental issues and stuff like that. And I'm not going to sit here and say that he didn't, but at the same time, he was intelligent enough to do the things that he did. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it bothers me because it reminds me of when Dylan Roof killed the people in my hometown. Yes. I knew several of those people that he killed. And I grew up like 3 blocks from that church, and I have been to that church many times as a kid. So when it hits home, I think sometimes that's what it takes to sort of wake us up. And I think we can be ignorant and act like this stuff is not happening. but it's happening on the regular now.
Mm-hmm.
We have people out here, doing those type of mass killings and then specifically targeting specific people.
Mm-hmm.
This is ridiculous, but I don't know what it's going to take. I was at the barber a few days ago, and the guys, several of them in the barber shop carry open carry, and I was like, "Why y'all carrying guns?" And they were like, "Cause there's some fools out here, and we gonna protect ourselves and our family and you if necessary."
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it's going to take, but it's really sad, and I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Wow. It's a lot. It's a lot of layers on this thing here, man. But to hear the research and stuff like that, and for them to say that he went out there intentionally to kill black people, it's a specific, like Rico was saying, it was a specific group of people that he wanted to kill. And it came out that and Robert said here that in the research it said that he pointed the gun at one of our Caucasian brothers and sisters and pulled the gun back and said sorry. I'm sorry, and went on to what he was doing. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Badger, what are you hearing in this whole situation? Does it make any sense to you?
That a person decided to be hateful and target certain people?
Mm-hmm.
No, it don't surprise me. It happens all the time. They do it. People do it for all kinds of hateful reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You got the shooting at the church. You've got racist a-holes. You've got all kinds of junk like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a hate crime.
Mm-hmm.
If the human being that admitted to doing it, if they're trying to pull the mental card, where did this happen anyway?
In New York.
So it's another New York shooting. Man, dude, when did it happen?
I think it was Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Yeah. Bet you don't look at the news, brother. It's all over the news.
No, I don't waste my time on that junk.
Mm-hmm.
I pay attention to congressmen and bills that are being passed and all that stuff because the more social media has grown, the more it shows this kind of stuff. Instead of reading it in the paper on the Sunday, you can get information about something that happens in about an hour after it happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
sound like you're struggling a little bit this morning, man. Hold on for a second. Let me go.
I'm just tired of these. There are hateful people in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the issue: if the person admitted to doing it as a hate crime, and he hurt people or killed people, so he killed people and wounded others, he should be filed as murder. If he does not get judged for murder, then the judge, the jury, or whoever was in charge of the case, the head people, if the New Yorkers don't agree with it, or the people in Buffalo, New York, excuse me, if the people there do not agree with the sentencing, then don't reelect that. Don't kick the judge out.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Let me keep this thing going. Let me go to Charles. I'm gonna say Chuck. Let me go to Charles. What's on your heart, brother? Chuck, what's going on, Chuck?
They call me Chuck. They call me Charles.
Mm-hmm.
As for, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm.
Charles, I think Charles done froze on us. I think he done froze on us. Yeah, he was good. You froze, brother. You must be in a bad spot, Charles. We can't hear you, brother. We can't hear you. Go ahead, Leonard.
Well, one of the things that I'm always talking about on here is that when it comes to these types of things, you have to get off your soapbox.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand, death on Monday ain't no different than death on Tuesday. And we need a concerted effort to punish all people that perpetrate crimes like this.
Mm-hmm.
It don't need to be maybe this or maybe that. No, it's based on what you did. I don't care where you came from, your upbringing, or nothing. I'm going to punish you for this act.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is anybody here can say you didn't do it? Is anybody going to say you didn't do it? Is it any evidence that you didn't do it? And I want to make sure that there's beyond the benefit of there should be no doubt whatsoever. Because we definitely carry you to the gallows, sir. We have every intention on hanging you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what you did.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about your family members. I don't want to talk about your hard time coming up. I'm judging you on what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs to be, and if you can't see that for everybody, regardless of color, you have a race problem too. We need to go after this as exactly what it is. It's terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
Racism is a component. Racism seems to be the motive. There should be a federal hate crime already there, ready to be triggered and acted out.
Mm-hmm.
Swiftly, you must do these things.
Isn't that, Leonard, what Congressman Lewis was fighting up until his death to get passed?
Well, these are the things that people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
You watching TV, waiting for what happened, was when the part that you could have been doing, you wasn't doing.
What you mean?
You wasn't showing up at the polls.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't putting district attorneys in places that believe in punishing all crime the same way.
Mm-hmm.
That everybody should suffer the same for the things that they do. You weren't about that.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowing people that are district attorneys who believe that white people shouldn't be prosecuted for killing black people. And you won't go out and vote against them. But now you're whining because of what you saw on TV. These laws should be in place now. This is why people fight to change the law. If changing the law is not your thing, you go fight homelessness. If you want to go fight the ethnocracy issue. If you deal with that, go after it from that point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But don't sit around and be no punk.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Don't sit around and act like you can't do nothing or you ain't supposed to be doing nothing. It's time for citizens, decent citizens, to take control of their government and what is going on in these communities.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to put people in place that don't have conflicts of interest with justice.
Mm-hmm.
So you got some people justice only come up until somebody they like involved. Then you want to bend the rules. Okay? When you feel a certain way about it. No, we should have automatic triggers for certain things in our government that would say to the racists that wanted to do something like this, I propose, let every white racist know that if you commit these types of crime, every black life is insured by $5 million of taxpayer money, and the families will be taken care of. Why? Because as part of reparation, the government used to support this type of behavior. They used to support slavery. They used to support racism. They used to support Jim Crow. They used to support disenfranchisement. They used to support discrimination. This is what you go for. You have to come up with a deterrent that actually impacts behavior.
Wow, that's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, Charles.
Hey, what Leonard just said about the $5 million deterrent thing, I agree with him. I agree with that because that would do it. That would do it. Believe that. That would deter it. But let me tell you something else. And when you all say, and I heard you say, and I heard Rico say it, I don't know if somebody else said that he's 18 years old, he's playing this out, he won't tell. I'm telling you guys, you got 30-year-old or so hardcore terrorists, because he's a terrorist now. He is a terrorist.
He is a
that
terrorist.
plan stuff out, and when certain parts of the government get a hold of them, they tell.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been a terrorist for 18 years, not just 18-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell. So it's stuff out there that'll make you talk. Believe it will. I'm telling y'all. And this ain't no TV movie type stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about some stuff out there that will make you talk.
And he gave you the evidence.
Mm-hmm. So are we talking about like a torture chamber?
Bro, if you got to do it, you got to do it.
Mm.
What Robert Harris said, you got to go. But on top of that, check it out. Now, Rico was saying that how Black people don't do certain things. We publicize and praise killing Blacks all the time, even in our music. Now, I'm not going to go all the way in that, but I just want to put that out that we do that. That doesn't deter. That doesn't say what this dude. Believe me, I'm never speaking towards what this dude did. All right, because sometimes people want to get misconstrued, and they do that because they want to. Understand, and it's bad that I have to say this because people want to get misconstrued. The dude shouldn't. Right now, to me, he shouldn't be. We should treat him like the Chinese treat people. That's how I feel right now. If you don't know what that is, go look it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. But then again, that's how I feel about everybody like that. And what Leonard was saying earlier, like, if you feel that this man should have been shot walking out the door, then you got to feel everybody who give up should be shot walking out the door. It can't be just him because he's white. It got to be everybody.
And I don't think the point was made that simply because of the fact that he's white or he's black or he's orange or purple or whatever. I don't think that it's my thing was my stance was this right here. The fact that he killed 10 people. The fact that he killed 10 people. Yeah, that's my whole point. I don't care if he was purple with polka dot stripes on him.
But let me say this. Well,
hold on one second. Let me go to my phone line because they've been holding on for a while. They've been very patient with me. I want to make sure I include them in as well. Hold on, brother. I'm coming back to you. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm so I don't know. It's so crazy right now. I don't know. I don't know right now.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't, because see, when I say something like, just want to see people get killed, I'm so freaking tired.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a lot, Cassandra, and it's very sensitive. It's very, very sensitive because the fact that we're in a situation or place or a situation where we have to even deal with stuff like this at this day and time.
Deal with it. That's what I'm saying. Why are we still dealing in this great country? That's what pisses me off every time I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we talk about this country ain't as great as you try to make it. Well, it's great for some people. Let me put it like that. But it ain't great for all of us when we have to be concerned about stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't great for all of us. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to keep them laughing, man, because I'm just seeing just how easily distracted we are.
Mm-hmm.
You think some Jews would have been sitting up there talking about they were just human beings, or they'd have been like, hey, we're tired of, as Jews, as being persecuted. We've been going through this since Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
I'm noticing how our talking points are so much different than theirs, and we see how the tactic works for them. Oh, but here we go again. Submissive and passive. Oh, they're just killing human beings. Oh, yeah, black and white thing. You know what these young guys say in Chicago? They pull up on each other, some of them friends, and they whip out 3 or 4 pistols at each other. Caught you lacking, caught you lacking. That means that they are walking around prepared for anything because they know they are on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to accept we're on a menu, but the history has shown us we've been on the menu since they brought us over here, and we still don't want to accept it. We want to throw all this legal jargon out there and all this humanity talk, but then let it happen to the Jews, and they're going to show you. Let it happen to the gays, and they're going to show you. You got black people sitting up on this platform trying to minimize the racist side of it, when the Jews will make sure that you realize this was a targeted incident. This was anti-Semitism, along with racism. They gave their own name to racism to make sure that they showed you that they could stand for themselves because they know they're being targeted. See, when Cassandra said that about the brothers in the barbershop, I like that. When I see them young guys from Chicago pulling guns on each other, but they ain't shooting, they just checking each other to see if you prepared, I like that. Because the topic of this conversation should be that since we are in this country where they were even coming to the house of God and strike you down after praying with you, what can you do to prevent that? All those people that died were vulnerable, unsuspecting, unprepared, or as they say today, lacking. See, now these young generation, these young soldiers, they ain't lacking against each other. They're making sure they prepare, but to a certain extent, they prepare for the cops too, but they still aren't suspecting just the in general hidden extreme white supremacists that wants to exterminate people. That comes, I mean, they look just like that man that some people call Jesus. They look just like the good white people that got everything, and I mean, come on, man. We are targeted. We need to be united just as much as the Jews, and we need to be just as vigilant. We need to live. I ain't saying live afraid, but don't walk so willy-nilly and comfortable to the point to where you become an innocent victim, knowing these people exist. They've been doing it since before you was born. Money, $5 million. Well, guess what? Medical apartheid, vaccines. I mean, the information is out there, man. They don't just target you individually to come in and shoot up grocery stores and churches. They will hit you with the medical industry. They hit you with the judicial system. They hit us with so many different things. Medical apartheid. They will wipe us out. They put that $5 million out there. Then who's going to be left to get the $5 million? Right now, you can be rich as you want to, and you run across the right races, and you ain't going to even be able to pay him to spare your life. He don't care. He want to exterminate niggas.
Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother?
But we want to avoid that.
Exactly. Ibrahim, talk to me. Ibrahim, we can't hear you, brother. Ibrahim having some issues over there. Robert, call in, brother. You showing a lot of love, man. I definitely appreciate it, Robert. Give us a call, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love it.
Raheen.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask this question, then I'm gonna probably just listen from here on out, man. But you know, I'm hearing everybody's opinions and this and that and solutions about persecution and money and this and that. But I want to ask anybody, what can we do to prevent ourselves from becoming victims of extreme racist killers like that?
I appreciate you answering that question too, because I've been saying the same thing. Maybe y'all misunderstood what I'm saying, right? But I sent some of you guys pictures, but Facebook blocked them when I'm out there with the homeless and listening to them. You know, I think we forget. We're looking over across the wall and we're pointing and identifying it, right? But we ain't looking behind us and looking down and seeing what the state of the people in to do this battle. And they're telling you, I mean, like you see, see the young kids, right? I also see women and men working and trying to get back for their neighborhood, scared of those same boys that you're talking about. They're both scared of them and the police, you know, which are our enemy. We're not even taking care of our basic needs, the basic needs of the people, but yet we want to run here to there because well, I understand it's happening up there in Buffalo, but it's happening right down here in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Right here in down here in South Georgia. It's happening in South Carolina, Mississippi, for God's sake. Every day. But we forget all those things. We look at that so we can focus on that one simple thing. But the thing is, we don't even care about our own self, no people in our own neighborhood. Right? We don't care. When I see a person with a gun, I'm glad to see a black man with a gun. But I see a fool with an attitude and all hip hopping. Hey man, I want to draw mine, man. And when I draw, I'm shooting. I ain't gonna point at nobody. When I pull it out, hey, I've been shot, man. I've been wounded. You know what I'm saying? I got shot, went to my arm, went to my back. I'm gonna tell you, I don't play like that. I don't play with nobody's gun, but when I do it, it's time to use it. But what I'm saying is, prevention worth a pound of cure every day. You can try to cure something, you can try to come some plan after the fact. This is all after the fact. But right now, You got to start with our own neighborhoods. We got to build our own neighborhoods. We got to build up the wall. We got to get people prepared to survive. You ain't gonna do that. You go out there shooting. Look here, every act has an absolute equal response, right?
Yeah,
They gonna shoot. They gonna start shooting y'all. That's what's happening now. You shoot another cop, they gonna shoot a bunch of us, right? The cops shoot us, we gonna shoot a bunch of them, and it gets bigger and bigger. You know what? That we outgunned, we outnumbered, we outmanned. So the best thing to do is to get man and get armor, right, and go in it with a gusto that we have a plan to redo and make this world so we can sit at the table of mankind. We can't even decide what country to go in and fight. We can't decide who's gonna drop the nuclear bomb. We talk about Israel. Israel, they're killing millions of black people and have been. They're not the Jews anyway, right? They're a version of the Jewish community, right? So what I'm trying to say is, don't you see what's going on? We're not identifying the real problem, which is that we don't care about our own people to build ourselves up. When you go out there and do something, you're gonna do something tactical and everything. Like I seen them two fools killing some black man at a gas station. They were tactical, man. They had the gun, they were dressed in black, had the mask on, and the girl had the gun or somebody like that, like this here. They went in there and iced it. I didn't get nobody else. But the fact is they could have killed somebody. They come in broad daylight, they want to make a statement. If this is the kind of thing we want to see in our community, no, you don't. If they go out there and shoot at the police, you know how they come in? They come in full cab. And they'll bring I've seen it happen in my lifetime. They bring a whole National Guard in and everything, white, black, anything in that neighborhood in their way, they start killing. You know, start killing, beating their head, and taking them to jail. And you don't want that to happen. I've seen this happen. I've been involved in this kind of thing. I've seen it happen all the time. But we today, we had certain amount of privilege that we didn't have then, right? But however, it's getting back to where I was. When it get back to where I was, you're gonna say, damn, I've been telling y'all. No, I've been telling you. I've been telling you because you're not doing anything. An ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. That's all I got.
Now let me ask you. Let me go to Toya. Hold on. But let me go to Toya with a T. Toya, you with us? Toya?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning. Yeah, I'm here.
Toya, I got a question for you, and I understand what the brother was saying, Ibrahim, just now. He was saying an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I understand that, but let me ask you this question: is in this day and time, is that violence should be met by violence? Is that approach where we need to be right now?
If it's worth me saving my life. So I'm gonna repeat this one more again, right? I'm a 5'5", 165-pound black female woman, very lovable and friendly. But if you ever make it seem like you're gonna hurt me, it's going down.
You're going down.
I love the Lord. You understand me? I do. But if it ain't him himself, ain't no man gonna come against me and cause no harm. I don't care if you are doctor, president, officer. It don't make no difference. We're going to handle this the way I'm going to handle it. And we all die someday, right? So if you think you're going to come kill me, we both going to die that day. I mean, period. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am as a human. I don't no longer look at the issues of that world the same because, my God, he got all that right there. The devil know better to come my way with any of that because it's going down. Slingshot and rock time, baby. Let's go. I'm waiting for it. It doesn't make a difference. Black man, white man, Asian man, kid, old person, you're going to get the business if you ever come in my direction thinking you're going to cause me any kind of hurt or harm because I'm not that kind of human. So, of course, is it about prevention? Yes. But it's like this, right? When I think about black people, think about Africa. You still got to build a life and watch out to keep the geese from eating by lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! You ain't no timeouts. We always looking for a timeout or something. Listen, where we come from, ain't no timeouts. Black man, black woman, ain't no wait. Hold up, let me get myself together. It is what it is. You gotta stay up. You gotta be up, and out of all of that, you still gotta be the best of the best, the faster, the fastest. Jump higher and run faster still. So now, how are you gonna do it? And that's the problem. We don't work together. The game ain't changed, and it does on sure ain't waiting for us to be able to keep up with it. So in the meantime, what we gonna do? Nothing. We still talking in 2022, twiddling our thumbs, and none of us going back making anything shake or happen. So what it is, it's nothing. This is another conversation.
Good deal. Good deal.
Black people just gonna talk about and not make any action.
Now, Charles,
having a gun guns been around. You already had the right to bear guns. You should have always had them. You should have always been proficient. At the moment you got the license to do it, you should be at the range regularly if that's what you would like. But we are talking about people who are hateful and seek to do other people harm.
Now,
Now,
Leonard just jump right on up in there. Then Leonard
but he said, but
hold on, Charles. Hold on, brother.
Okay, I thought you called me. My fault.
I did. I'm gonna ask you a specific question. I want you to comment on Rico asked a question, and I want you to comment on the question that Rico asked. What's on your heart?
Me or Leonard?
You.
Oh, same thing Leonard just said.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I look at it is that you can't stop. Education does help people, but hate is hate, and the hate is always hate. It's going to always be somebody out there to hate you for one reason or another. You can't prevent anyone from hating you. You just can't. But you can prevent somebody from harming you. And it's the same thing that Cassandra was saying. You show that you're not a victim and you're not a target by getting yourself protection. Those guys in the barbershop, they're not, well, I got my gun because of I'm waiting on a white supremacist to run up in here. They get their guns for anybody to run up in there the wrong way. Mm-hmm. Just like she said, rocks are slingshots. You step the wrong way. This is going to prevent if it don't prevent you, it will prevent the next person. Mm-hmm. But and also it'll prevent you from doing it again. You ain't going to do it again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, another thing that Leonard just said also is that the training part. Mm-hmm. I'm into like blacks owning things. Blacks need to own more guns and gun ranges, gun manufacturers, those type things like that, because you'll never get a person to love you. Like I said before, the people who are going to hate you for your skin color are always going to hate you. And that's just what they're going to do. I don't even want to stop them from hating me because I don't care how they feel about me. Mm-hmm. But I do want to stop them from harming me. Mm-hmm. I want to stop people from harming me and my family, so you go and get protection. Mm-hmm. People want to stop people from harming them and their family, so they move into better neighborhoods. This is what you do certain things to stop people from harming you, but you can't do certain things to stop people how they feel about you. Yeah. You go to, it is things you can do, like go to class and people meet you and stuff like the brother, remember the brother who got all those KKK uniforms and stuff? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because he was going in and talking to him and he got I don't know. So he was better than me in that aspect. But his concept worked for him. Mm-hmm. Wow. I got, well, I ain't gonna say that. People out there got 44 reasons for you not to mess with them. Mm-hmm. And 357 reasons. Yeah. 9mm reasons. Mm-hmm. And if you mess with them, that'll be the last time you mess with them. Mm-hmm. And people, when people get targeted like they got targeted in New York, and this dude traveled 4 hours, right? 2 hours, 4 hours.
No, he traveled. He traveled some distance. He traveled.
So he was doing what he wanted to do, and went where he wanted to go, because he knew he probably, if he was that into it, knew that he wasn't going to get much backfire. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The hateful dude. I was gonna say, I can't say M and the F in it, because we can't do that. No, I can't do that. But anyway, that hateful joker.
You fight yourself not to say that. Boy, you sitting over there fighting. Let me hold on, man. Stay right there. I ain't fooling with you, Charles. I ain't even fooling. Friday. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
How you doing?
Friday, we talking about this situation that happened not too far from you, in New York, where a young man traveled and killed 10 people. He said he was going. He with an intention of shooting and killing black people. What in this day and time? 18 years old, a young man, 18 years old. Friday, what's on your heart concerning that? And I'm bad to come to you next, brother.
it's saddening. I thought it was in New York. For some reason, I thought it was Massachusetts, but um, nevertheless, the location is really irrelevant to the tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's really sad, and it really makes you, it makes me really stop and pause and consider, why are we devolving in such ways and at such a high rate? Like, is it out of boredom? Is it out of, I mean, obviously there's, for a person of faith, there's um, displacement of knowing who they are as an individual for people who commit these types of acts. But it saddens my heart, and my heart goes out to the families, to those who are the victim, but my heart goes out even to the family of the person, of this young boy, because you have to think, I consider,
Mm-hmm.
what he may be going through and what his environment may have been to foster such confidence in behaving in this way, to determine within himself that this was a right action to take. You know, there's no beautification
Mm-hmm.
scenario, but my heart goes out to those that are on both sides, because I believe that there are people connected to him that didn't support him as much as those that were connected to him that maybe ignored signs and signals that they could have took action on to help get him help. You just never
Friday,
know what
Friday,
human.
let me ask you this question, Friday, and I mean, you have such a beautiful heart, and I appreciate that, but at the same time, um, regardless of who was in his life or did it, how does one grab from that and say, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna kill black people, and I'm gonna travel 10 hours or however long he traveled to the specific location where he's going there to get. How do you tie that in with who was in his life or who treated him or who didn't understand him? How do you weave that together?
Well, I leave that together because if he's truly like 18 from a standpoint of legality, he's an adult, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
say he's capable of making his own decisions, but that's from a legal standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
But from a parental standpoint or mentor standpoint, for those that are actual mature in their mentality, who had direct responsibility to his upbringing and surroundings, the obligation to them, or from them, is to ensure that he's getting the help that he needs, to pay attention, unless they're condoning these thoughts and
Mm.
behaviors and encouraging him to do it.
Wow, wow. I mean that's a compliment to your heart because that's that's a reach for me. That's really
That's just like this young boy is circulating on social media. He couldn't have been no more than maybe 10, if that. Went to the neighbor's door, who's a black family, banging on the door with a whip, whipping the whip, looking for the daughter.
mm-hmm.
And then the mother said, get off my porch with that foolishness. And then when the husband came home, he goes to confront the neighbor about the behavior of the son, and the father meets him at the door with a weapon, with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, prove it was my son. He knew it was his son.
Mm-hmm.
He knew when he walked out of the house what he was going to go do. How did he get the whip in the first place? He didn't go down to the playground and buy black market. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
there's things within the home, in the home environment, from those that, if this young boy don't get checked, then he's going to have the same behaviors that we just seen this 18-year-old do.
Okay. That's a scenario. That's definitely a scenario. Cassandra, what's on your heart? And will I come to you next?
But this is what I'm talking about our show. the fact that Friday can have the opinion that she has takes nothing away from anybody else.
Absolutely.
This is all about your opinions and perspectives and how you see things, spiritually, naturally, however you want to look at it. But we all have a right to feel. I'm proud of her that she feels that way.
Yeah.
She's
Absolutely.
looking at it at a different way than I do, than you do, and some others on here do. But that does not make her wrong.
Absolutely.
It's just how she feels about it. And I like it like that. I mean, that's what a show is about. People having their own opinions and perspectives. So kudos to her, for how she feels about it, and stick to that. That's who she is.
And like I said, because she have a real special heart, man. She really does. To take something like this, and
that she means that. That's what I'm saying. It's not like people are being disingenuous. That's how she feels about it.
Absolutely.
Whether we like it or not, it's how she feels about it.
Yeah. It's her perspective on the whole situation. And so, and she was honest and transparent and told us how she felt about it. Now, I ain't gonna say I agree with it, but that's my sister. I still love her. That's what it is. Willow, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheen.
Willow,
good morning, show. I'm doing fine this morning.
Good deal. What's on your heart about this whole situation that happened? And I know you've seen it on the news. Oh man, I gotta go. I told Badge I'm coming to you next, but I'm sorry. I've been running around. I'm coming to you next, Badge. But Willow, what's on your heart? I told Badge I was coming to him.
I saw it, and it wasn't the first one, and it won't be the last because there are copycatters out there. So, and I've been listening to everybody comment, and one comment was made about us becoming more together as a group when we see things happening like this. But when we're so disrespectful to our own race, they're saying, why should we be any different? Because we are so disrespectful to our own race. I live in Chicago, so I live in war. But I'm not going to stay in my house out of fear. I heard them say they were at the barbershop and they had their guns already unconcealed. But that don't make you wise, because you'll be the first one that they shoot if they're coming in there to shoot. My thing is that we have, because the Bible does say first natural, then spiritual. You have to be wise in what you do out here, because we don't know who's planning what or who's doing what. Because there are evil and wicked people out here. But you got to prepare yourself for that. How you do that, I can't run your home. I have to run mine the way I run it. But I'm saying I don't like it. But we as a people have to get more together and stop killing up each other. And that's my opinion on that one.
Good deal. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Come on, Badger.
Well, I looked up shootings. There was 4 shootings that happened yesterday. One that on the 14th, which is the Buffalo one, and just the amount of shootings that took place this month all over the country. From May 6th to May 15th today, or yesterday, I mean, and 30, 40 of them. A couple of them are hate crimes. There was a church shot up yesterday that had Taiwanese, where people were injured and shot and things like that. One killed, and they think it was an Asian man that did it as a hate crime.
Wow.
Because he hated the Taiwanese. So there's hateful people out here. And it usually stems from what they're taught.
That's good.
I want to make sure that he gets the sentence that he deserves. According to the news, he's getting life as long as he's convicted. And to me, if he doesn't get evicted, then if it was the judge that did it, the judge needs to be kicked out and replaced with someone that's going to uphold the law for everyone. There is no separation in that. So it sucks. I hate seeing things like this. I'm tired of seeing things like this. It's just a reminder for me of where our country's at.
Mm-hmm.
And until we do things like what Leonard was talking about and other things like that, like I don't own a gun. There's so looking at the story, the man came in the day before. He was asking for change and all this other stuff. Either the worker or the owner of the store told him to leave. And the next thing you know, he shows up the next day in body armor, helmet and everything, tactical gear, and comes in with an illegal AR-15 that he altered,
Not here.
which was legally bought.
Wow.
So for some reason, that place was targeted. And I think they said it was like an hour or something away from where he actually lived.
Oh, he picked that place. That's the place that he picked. He did some research and some surveillance, and he wanted to find the perfect place where he could go find black people and kill black people. So he selected that place himself.
So to me, with that being the way it is, it also needs to be investigated, his parents and the people that are around him.
Wow.
For him to get that kind of tactical gear to customize an AR-15 the way it was done,
okay,
there's more than just that.
Exactly. And see, my thing is, you truth of the matter, you can buy whatever you want to buy off the street, man. Whatever you want, you could get it off the streets. It's there. It's there. They say black market or whatever they call it, but you can get what you want. We got somebody from the 470 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from? 470. 470. Are you there?
Hey, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing. Who's speaking?
Quasi, how you doing?
Hey, Quasi, how you doing, brother? You doing good? Doing good. What's on?
I'm good.
What's on your heart this morning?
I hear the conversation, and I just want to say a couple things, man. Number one, when I heard this and saw the news, it kind of, and I heard my brothers, my homeboys, my friends talking about it. I just want to say, number one, this is the determining factor that's going to make me decide to carry. I haven't carried. I think me and my father are the only black men I know who don't carry. And my friends have asked me to carry for a while now. This is the one that's going to make me carry. Number two, I hear all the discussions of how we make this happen, or how we stop these type of incidents. One of the things that I've learned in the black community is that we only think our way is the only way. And that really hinders us from being able to come together as a unit and move things forward. I really believe in the outside pressure, meaning I have people protesting, talking, posting, letting the community know what's going on, and somebody on the inside who's speaking for us is who's speaking truth to power. And that goes on the line with Mr. Leonard Jones, who I really admire, man. I've worked with Leonard many times before, man. I consider him a great friend, bro, and a strong brother. But that we have to vote and find people in our communities to run for DA, city council, county commissioner, things of that nature. And I know it's a lot of people out there who don't believe in the power of the vote, but it goes further than just your power of the vote. That's who's representing you, that's who's advocating for you, and that's who's fighting for you on these issues. So while we're here in America, you know, I'm not gonna say the best course of action because everybody got their own opinion. You know, you're gonna have to get engaged. You're gonna have to get engaged instead of stop waiting on them to do what's right for us. You know, because I've learned a long time ago that I don't share the same interests as every person in my community. You know, what I think is best for my community or for my city or for my county or my country is totally different from the next man. You know, so I don't look for other people to do what's right for in my community. I go out there and say what's right. I'll push for what I believe is needed for my community. If other people would kind of do that, you know, maybe we can make a culture where this is unacceptable in our community.
Absolutely.
You know? Instead of just posting on Facebook or talking at the barbershops or fussing about at the church or Sunday dinners, but actually get out and involve and go to some of these city council meetings, these county commission meetings, and let them know that we're upset. Because a part of me, as I see how these cases, the justice that America's determined from these cases, I'm not so sure that the justice I believe this young man should receive is going to be the same one that the jury who they pick in Buffalo, New York, is going to give this man or this judge. So now in my head, I'm not saying I'm with this thought. I'm totally committed to this thought, but it has crossed my mind, and I know it's crossed a whole lot of other brothers' minds. How long do we sit up here and let others dictate what justice is for our brothers and sisters dying in people's hands, and we start taking the justice in our own hands?
Good deal. Hold right there, brother. I got to pull some more people in. Hold on right there, Kwasi. I'm gonna pull some more people in, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ibrahim, and Rico, coming to you next.
Okay. Yeah. You know, again, I think nobody's hearing me. Everybody's saying the same thing, but in different stages, right? You know, I go back again. Man, we got to start. We got to start back taking care of ourselves and each other, man. Them kids out there crying, man. They hungry from birth, right? We come up, we telling the kids what's right, and they saying, well, it don't seem to be happening like that. So they taking matter in their own hands. You know what I mean? Fannie Lou Hamer said that back in the 60s, right? You know, but the thing is, we still got to be directed in the right way. If you can't have unity for unity's sake, you got to have the same problem and then try to start working on it. You develop unity. I'm developing unity on a little project I'm doing. You know what I mean? And bringing in people coming in because they want to do, they doing the same thing, or they want to help, or they want to solidify the thing, right? So if we start doing that, I don't care how many guns you got. You know, I got guns. You would bring out some guns. I got guns, right? You don't see me carrying them a lot of times, but I got them, and I use them. I don't know. A lot of people got guns. They ain't gonna use. They ain't been in a situation where they had to use these guns. I know how to use it. I know how to use it. Better more than the range. The still target, moving target. If you come to me, hey, I'm there. But look, that's not important. What's important is that my people, our people, are not being provided, taken care of by us. You cannot, if you go out there by yourself, individually, or a couple of groups out there, you get a couple of groups together, you're talking about mayhem that's only going to affect you, going to affect your family, everybody behind you. You know what I mean? So get them behind you, stand up front. You know, you stand up front with them. Let them, you know, other than an opinion, they know what, you know, when people see who's going to provide for them, you know, who's going to help make sure they live or going to get them out of jail. One group today that will get another brother out of jail would even stand up. That's Grandmaster Jay. He just starting to get some research. All what he done and help out people and everything. Nobody wanted to keep him 20 years, right? They pointed fingers. Yeah, did you see that? Yeah, he did that. He did that. And these are militant brothers, man. I asked the brothers to come out there and protect their community. They ain't got time for that, man. We got to let the white man, please kill them. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, he said, well, I said, see for yourself. Go talk to the mothers, which I have done. And a lot of people think, you know, you can say I'm pontificating, right? I go out there and do things. You can look at my whole record for the last 10 years since I've been kicked out of work, right? I've done things, right? I go out there to the people. When I see a child shot, I go out to the scene. I try to evaluate it. I talk to the parents. I talk to people around there, you know. And if I can help make sure that the victim is served justice, I'm gonna help with that. If the person that did the shooting, I make sure they serve with justice, right? You know, I don't take no sides like that. You know, we got a real situation. And I'll say again, prevention is worth the pound of cure. Everything everybody talking about right now sounds like reactive, right? You not only got to vote, but you got to pick the people you're gonna vote for. You know, that's action. You see, voting is a reaction, but you pick the people you vote for. You know, like district attorney stuff. We got district attorney won't lock up no policeman. But she talking about doing Trump. That's the only good thing I heard her say since she's been in office. But look, we have to take the responsibility of self. If you want to, if you think all should do this, then go out and do it.
Yeah, good deal. Good deal. We're gonna keep this thing
Raheen.
going. The phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Phone lines are open. Hold on, Lynn. I said I was gonna go to Rico. I'll circle back around to you. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, I like what Quasi said, and I like what Abraham said. You know, they telling the truth. You know, when I ain't gonna say when I was young, but I saw a video of a march when I was young, and I think it happened in Georgia. A peaceful march with some black people, melanated people. And then Carlos, the Ku Klux Klan, and pulled up and went to shoot. Broad daylight. Now, I think about that, you know, and I'm listening to what everybody's saying. First off, what Friday was saying is true. We got to acknowledge learned behavior.
Yeah.
Evidently, it's learned behavior because it's been going on since we touched down on this continent. That same behavior has continued. That privilege, entitlement, savagery, it's a learned behavior. And so we have to acknowledge that it exists and it isn't going anywhere until it stopped being taught or whatever. But I think about the fact that we do have to use all these avenues, voting on the local level, county level, Quality speaking the truth, Abraham speaking the truth, and we also have to do other things. You know, I wouldn't carry my weapon to where everybody can see it, but I am prepared for whatever.
Yeah.
There are certain reasons why I'm prepared for whatever. Like I spoke of with James Byrd Jr. He thought that guy was his friend. He thought that guy would probably be such a good friend to him that he would protect him from this crazed racist that wanted to drag him and chain him to that back of that truck. But the friend didn't stop him. And guess what? He was unprepared. He wasn't ready for it. Imagine being out there in them voting lines, peaceful, trying to observe your right, and somebody come through there and shoot it up and you ain't got nothing ready, you lacking. You know, Willa said that about being in Chicago. I'm pretty sure she hear these children talking about lacking all the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is they are prepared, but they are only prepared for each other. They're testing each other. They understand the tactics. They understand the strategy, but they are doing it against the wrong people. So they are prepared to a certain extent. We are prepared. We do have arms. We do have weapons. We do have soldiers. But the soldiers fighting against each other, and then you got somebody look like Eminem come in, and we just open, like I said, welcome them with open arms. This is another learned behavior. Now we know better. We know our history. We've seen what these people have done for centuries. Under the name of God, in the name of God. So, you know, that's sort of the reason why I think I haven't been able to go all the way over to religion completely, because I'm an eye for an eye person. And I do believe in preventive measures. So don't get me wrong, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust no human being to be completely honest or to love me or care about me the way I would respect and care about them. So I'm weary and leery of everybody that I come across. You know, it seems like he all right, but let me keep my eye on this joke because I don't know what they here for or what they want. I'm always suspicious.
Yeah.
But based off history, I am more suspicious with white people. Now, I ain't saying all of them are bad, but it goes back to what Muhammad Ali said about the 10,000 snakes and 1,000 of them being good.
Yeah.
You just gonna trust the rest of them because you know 1,000 of them good? You just gonna trust all of them? Or you gonna be suspicious of all of them until you find out the proof you need to see which 1,000 are good? See, we'll listen to stuff like that and won't even pay attention to it. What he's telling y'all, well, quit being so stupid. Quit being so welcoming, man. Quit being so even-minded and friendly. Stop being so friendly. You know these people. You know they've been sending us to war based on lies. You know they've been poisoning us through medicine.
You know, they've been feeding our babies to alligators.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've been saying that we ain't created equal after they said the Constitution said we were.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, they've been raping our men and raping our children and our wives. You know what they've been doing. And y'all still just open arm receptive with them. I'm going to tell you something. I'm the type of person that I'm going to do the voting. I'm going to go through the judicial system. And if that don't work, I'm going to be my own CIA.
Mm.
And I'm going to find this person, and I'm going to get justice. And I'm going to make sure that whoever this person is that violated me that way, he'll be so terrorized by the time I'm finished, he won't even say nice. He won't say one word begin with the letter N.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
they say vengeance, you know, you shouldn't seek vengeance. That's what religion says. You know,
exactly.
Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Well, when it comes to that, these jokers might get so comfortable because I've seen how comfortable they are to continue to go and stake out and do reconnaissance
mm-hmm.
to achieve their goal. Well, you know what? I'm going to do reconnaissance on these same people once they show me who they are. And I might just crawl in their bed with them.
Wow.
Before they even realize I'm going to catch them vulnerable just like they would catch me vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've been catching us vulnerable. If you look at all these situations with the Charleston situation in the Church of Emmanuel or Emmanuel Church or whatever, those people were vulnerable,
mm-hmm.
welcoming and vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly.
Unsuspicious,
mm-hmm. Good
loving
deal.
and welcoming, and it cost them.
Absolutely.
So sooner or later, after 400 years of living over here and trying to survive, we got to know better than
mm-hmm.
to just be so trusting. I ain't that trusting. A lot less trusting of white people.
Good deal. Stay right there, Rico. I got to pull some more people into the conversation. Tucson, good. Well, you've been with us this morning already, but Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
And I can understand the I guess what I would call, and I wouldn't even call it that, frustration of religious
mm-hmm.
the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because we sometimes think God is created by man.
Mm.
And so we just dismiss him altogether. It's a figment of our imagination. And I'm not mad about it because mankind manipulates anything
mm-hmm.
to the way that he thinks. And when others are affected by that, they tend to feel a certain way, if that makes any sense. But see, there's a good and there's an evil. And somebody said it earlier, we start pointing out flesh and blood, and then it starts to be racially motivated or based on anything we can think about.
Mm-hmm.
But there are just evil people.
Yeah.
On both sides,
mm-hmm.
all sides.
Exactly.
And we miss it when we start looking at the people. But you know, this guy, whoever it is that we start talking about at the beginning, is just an evil person, and his parents probably evil too.
Mm. Wow.
His grandmother and his granddaddy passing down hatred.
The whole lineage.
And then you know what?
Mm-hmm.
The bad thing about that is, if he survives, which they probably will allow him to survive, because the judge that will be over the case going to say, oh, he just had a bad day. You know, That's an evil too.
Yeah. I'm
not too bright, but we pass that evil down and we don't deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes, just shut up. I just shut up. I keep listening.
Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I was just listening, and we need to make sure that, like, say for instance, with something important, if you're interested in the conversation about violence, there is a conversation today sponsored by Operation Correct Start of America Incorporated. Mm-hmm. Violence ain't no joke. It'll start today between 5 and 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a virtual telethon, and it benefits Saving Our Sons campaign.
That's good.
That meeting ID is going to be 862-1029-3860. I'm trying to send you the information now so you can post it.
Absolutely.
And it's for Saving Our Sons. But one thing we have to understand.
Information one more time, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it. Send it to Raheen so he can post it in. I was trying to do it on YouTube, but I couldn't see where to post it at. But I'll send it to you, Raheen.
Okay,
so
good.
You can post that.
Absolutely.
But one of the issues we have to understand, when you only can look at things in black and white, you become no better than a racial profiler. That's it. You just racial profiling. You have to look into why people are doing things to come up with a plan on how to address it. Like I said, this is terrorism. We need to focus those resources like we would do like when they bombed the towers. That's the effort you need to put forth this right here, because that's terrorism. There are communities and societies with issues that, one, their main goal is to hurt other people. And to blame it on religion or anything else may not be the best thing. Unless that's why he told you he did it. This dude was outlined why he did what he did. So you don't have to make anything up. He told you exactly what he did. Use that against him to convict him. Come on, he get a life sentence. That's not enough. He needs to get 250 years at least. Because that's how many lives he took. So when it comes to different approaches, I believe all of them are needed. And anything we can do to deter this type of behavior, that's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be doing things to encourage the behavior. We've been had guns. So we know guns don't fix it. Because we've always had guns. I've always had a gun. And all these people talking about why ain't nobody doing nothing, why ain't you go do it? Why didn't you go do it? If you know how to just go ahead and tie this all up and take care of it, why didn't you go take care of it? You didn't have to call and ask my permission. You didn't have to ask nobody on this line's permission to do what you really wanted to do. So you be that soldier and you be that martyr to do what it is you think you want to do and you think what was best. And then we are going to judge you just like we judged everyone else. See, this is what helps the consciousness of the people, as if everybody was getting justice, we would all fall in line better. We would all understand why we moved a certain way, why we had district attorneys that did this, that, and the other. One, as much as I would support a district attorney, I'd be the first person to take them out of there once I got to find out they got a problem with a conflict of interest with doing the right thing. See, either you want to do what's right or you want to do just whatever you want to do. And that's I'm going to get me a gun. You going to get you a gun and go do what? So you're just going to stand around all day worried about somebody white coming to kill you? Is that what you're going to do all day? Because guess what? What are you going to do when somebody that ain't white come kill you? How you going to prepare for that? See, everybody been had guns, especially criminals. But see, we are a part of legal carrying citizens because it's our right to bear arms to protect ourselves and our families. All you got is a shootout when don't nobody care about nothing. Everybody just shoot. That's all. Anybody, innocent babies get killed. Everybody gets hurt. So all this noise about we gonna do this and the police don't even know what stuff gonna happen sometime. How you gonna know? You're not gonna know everything. And you're not gonna be everywhere. But what you can do is be prepared as much as possible. When you go get that gun, also get you some training in CPR so you can help victims at scenes where these things happen.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Keep a list of phone numbers to contact the authorities the moment you notice something ain't right. Or you feel suspicious. They know somebody saying you can't call a house, you can't call the police, or you can't go tap the security guard on the shoulder. Hey man, you need to watch that guy right there. There's a lot of things we can do to protect ourselves, but that's a different conversation when you're doing something and you don't know what you gonna do, what you gonna say, or how you gonna do it.
Don't have a plan. Don't have
a plan.
Absolutely. Let me go to Friday. Friday, what's on your heart, sis?
You know,
Uh-oh.
I was looking up some things to get some information um, to be able to speak to it, and it was what I was looking for. I didn't quite find, but what I did see, which was quite interesting to me, is that um, the nights of, right? So you see that in front of the Knights of the KKK, Knights of different organizations, and everything that came up, referred to um, the founder and when it started, and your first two lines that immediately come up before you click on anything, and you don't. It's not until page 3 that you see anything in the first sentence that identifies them as a terrorist group. And then when I looked up the Black Panther Party, what came up with that was just how it was vastly different. It talked about the rank and file of members and who had been killed, and court cases where you just seeing these faces plastered on there looking angry, which gives a very different initial approach to you. You would think that the aggressor and the was the Black Panther Party. And so I say that to bring attention to the structure that I hear speaking of that we need to have in terms of the unification and going back to dealing with ourselves, this knighthood. So it makes me think also that some of these actions that take place that are hate crimes are the modern day bid for ranking, right? Showing their proof or showing their worth. No difference than the street gangs, right? You have to, get beat or steal or killed to prove that you are really, want to be part of it, and what your, bidding for ranking could be, especially since that this gentleman took the time to live stream it on social media. There's no question that he wanted the attention to prove what he felt like he's capable of doing. It didn't change my position and what I've said, that those around him had opportunity to to do something different. Either they encouraged his behavior or ignored it. But it's just interesting to me how even today, the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, even in a social search, appears so nice and pure upon initial search. But then when you look up the Black Panther Party, you see all this aggression and negativity.
Wow. Curtis, good morning. And that's a great point. Curtis, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what's up, bros? What's going on? Hey, Queens, how y'all doing, man?
Hey, we talked about the situation that happened in New York, where the young man traveled as far as he traveled with the intent of killing black people. He killed 10 people, 9 of which was black. How strategically he put this whole plan together. Curtis, what's on your heart behind that?
I don't know if you all got the news, but didn't something happen in California too?
Yeah, I think it did. It did.
So if we're not going to address the issue that was a plan, man. He was a part of a larger scheme, man. You know what I mean? Like the fact that the Klan, the Ku Klux Klan, have not been held accountable for domestic terrorism is a travesty. They have been terrorizing black and brown communities for years. And I remember watching a YouTube video where an old Klan dude told the public, first off, the FBI has said just 4 years ago, the FBI did a probe and they said that basically the most treacherous organization in America is the Klan.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody is filing charges. So you got these that's operating and doing these things. They actually operating with immunity, man.
Mm-hmm.
They operating with immunity. You let the Black Panther Party, the Raheen Ashimi Party, the whatever party, you let some black and brown folk go and get some guns and shoot up a bunch of folk. And tell, man, come on, man. Like, this country is becoming a joke, man. You know what I mean? Country full of cowards. You know, you know what, man? It's easy to squeeze the trigger, man. It's easy to let the bullet. That's just an easy way. It's easy to let a bullet do the work for you, man.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You really want to be Billy Joe bad, but okay, let's go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a passive dude, but let's go hand in hand. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sick of it. And then every time it happens, we as black folk have a tendency to even take the bait in the narrative and throw in there, well, you know, blacks killing blacks too. That's not the topic. That's not the issue. Maybe blacks killing blacks because don't nobody else care about us. I don't know, man. I'm just, man. I swear, man. I'm just waiting for my baby. I'm waiting for my baby to pick this college and go off to college, man. I might move to another country, man. This is foolish. This is just foolish. Enough is enough, man.
Absolutely.
Enough is enough. For real, I don't think a black person should have showed up to work today.
Wow.
We're gonna protest. Don't none of us go up to work. See what happens. All the black truck drivers, stop driving. Until you get some justice, stop driving. If you work in a call center, don't make no calls. Or show up and don't do no work. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. That dude, in all reality, that dude should get, I don't know if they call it natural life, but he should get the kind of sentence, if you're not going to give him the death penalty, he should get the kind of sentence that says you will never see freedom again. You will never get any chance of probation, any chance of parole, and none of that. You will be locked up for the rest of your natural life.
Good deal. Let's keep this thing going.
That can work, right?
Hey, absolutely. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. We're gonna keep this thing going. We got quite a few. Ibrahim, I think you had something on your heart, brother. Give me your quick version. We wind it up. Give me your quick version.
Okay. Yes, sir. You know, everybody is correct. You know, but you know, you got to take care of the basics. You know what I mean? I think Jenna Honore said that it takes any officer worth salt, you know, can plan a strategy, but it takes a mastermind to come up with logistics. You know what I'm saying? So the logistics and the devil in the detail is the people that you're supposed to be serving and helping. Even if you help yourself, you need more than yourself to help the people, to help them to do the job that you need to do or protect yourself. You know what I mean? You know, because they can wipe you out in a matter of seconds. I had a large argument with a lot of people years ago about that. And I demonstrate every day. But what I do demonstrate, I ain't saying we can't do it, but we better start getting about the business of doing it. And that is organize and then get people together that feel like you and work with you. They want to train. But they want to go out there and have help the people and have people that going to back you because you can't feed them. Let's be honest. You can't feed them. You can't get them out of jail. You can't give them medical attention. You can't give them a job. You can't establish an economy. So what are we talking about? We're talking about really defending ourselves. Then we need to get about all those things ourselves, doing it for ourselves, right? We also need to vote and pay people. Anyway, I got to go too. So
okay. Now this one I'm about to do. I set my timer over here. I set my timer over here for 2 minutes. I'm gonna go to when I come to you, I'm gonna hit my button. 2 minutes. When the buzzer go off, we gotta move to the next person. So whatever you're gonna say, get it in within that 2 minutes. Like I said, we only got about 15 minutes left. So we're gonna go around 2 minutes is what we got. Latoya, you there? Toya, you there? Toya with a T? I think we have Rosalind. Rosalind, you with us this morning?
Yes, sir. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. I just been listening and I had to sneak away and call, but it's very demonic. But what bothers me is I have a white family. They are very, very loyal to me and my daughter. And the thing that bothers me is when things like this happen, they always call me and apologize. And I'm like, why are you apologizing? I mean, it's not gonna affect our relationship, and that's the thing that bothers me. I don't want them to think that I'm gonna pull away from them because of things like these, and that's one thing we have to keep in mind also. Every white person or Asian person or however, they are not the same, so we can't put all of them in a category. Yes, you have to be mindful of what happened in the past, but we can't categorize everybody and put them in the same perspective as what this guy did. And that's what bothers me the most. We just have to continue to pray and do things like that. But that really had me emotional yesterday when I got the phone call, and they always apologize, and we always talk about things like this. So I told them, no, I'm not gonna pull away. It's just we just have to talk about it and continue to pray about it. But it's very demonic, and I think he was coached. He was coached, and just things like this is from upbringing. So somebody had to coach him. Somebody had to instill this in him for him to set stuff up like that.
Wow, good deal, good deal. All right, let's keep this thing going. Public citizen, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty good. I woke up late, but
Here you go.
I agree with Rosalind. We
Starting
have
your 2 minutes now.
Somebody coached him, and the thing is about that was my main comment is who's coaching people who have this mentality is the media. A lot of right-wing media uses really divisive and hateful rhetoric. And, this guy in his manifesto, he wrote about the invasion of the Mexicans and the invasion of all these non-whites and Haitians and all these people from all over. And they're going to make the white people extinct. And this is the same rhetoric that was used in El Paso shooting. This was the same rhetoric that was used in other mass shootings, the one in New Zealand. And, this is a sickness that exists in our society. So we need to, funny thing is I was debating some of my white conservative friends last week on that use of that term, invasion. And I finally got at least one of them to acknowledge that is just out of line. And also, I have to say that a lot of the people in the new black media also engage in the same rhetoric. So, there's a lot of hate going on. It's not only coming from white. There's a lot of hateful black people out there spreading this nonsense too. So we got to keep that real. And one more thing, this guy, he wrote the names of the victims of that Waukesha, Wisconsin, black identity extremist who targeted whites on his rifle. So, this goes way deeper. There's a lot of hatred in our society, and we need to have the courage to use love and peace and tolerance to counteract it, because we can't live like this.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Your 2 minutes just in it. Rico, you got 2 minutes, brother. What's on your heart?
Man, that's great, man. I like both of their points. And with some of the stuff that I said, man, there's a lot of white people might hear what I said and be like, man, Rico messed up. But believe it or not, man, I have some awesome white people in my corner.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And they understand my point of view. They understand my point of view because after they take it from the way they look at things and they listen to what I have to say about my experience, they understand that I've been across some very deceptive white people. Don't get me wrong, I've been across and came across a lot of deceptive humans, period. But when I tell you that it can be so shocking when you're around somebody that you think don't believe certain things, and then all of a sudden you find out they do. They were just appeasing you They were just hiding it from you.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes out in a time when they say it's so harsh when you say you caught off guard. Then I realized, man, you know what? That's one of them 9,000 snakes Muhammad Ali was talking about. He ain't part of the 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So those people that really do understand where I'm coming from, they get that. Because from my experience, there has been times that I was welcoming and open arms, just like the pilgrims. I mean, just like the natives,
Mm-hmm.
just like the Africans in the past, welcoming and just, receiving people, thinking the best, giving them the benefit of the doubt. So I really hate that is the atmosphere that we live in. I really hate that I am that way. But I don't trust anybody. I got this mindset that anybody can get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't discriminate. But I do pay extra attention to white people that come around me, knowing the history that we come from. I ain't saying that I automatically think they're prejudiced. I just know that there's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Good deal. Good deal. Everybody's doing real good. Cassandra, you got 2 minutes. What's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, no, I agree with everyone's perspective, and I mean, my heart is just heavy that we are still in this place, and I don't know the answer. I'll be totally honest. Yeah, we can vote, but will that stop a bullet or a gun from somebody deciding they want to go into a church or go into a grocery store or whatever, or you walking down the street in Atlanta and somebody pulls up and starts shooting everybody? I mean, I don't know what the answer is,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that we have to try to figure out something that we can do.
Absolutely.
We have to be proactive, and right now I feel like it's not happening. We can say that the guys at the barbershop shouldn't carry weapons, but they've had a guy come in and try to rob a barbershop full of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a reality. What if they didn't have their guns on them? You understand what I'm saying? It could have been really ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know what the answer is, like I said, but we need to do something.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Good deal. Good deal. Badger, you got 2 minutes, brother. What's on your heart?
I also think that he was coached.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just absolutely wild and sickening to me. I'm tired of being surrounded by so many ignorant folks where I live. Anytime certain things are brought up, anytime certain things need to be brought to light, they're always just wanting to ignore it or think it's going to affect their pocketbook, or depending on who's bringing it up, it causes a whole nother set of issues. There's just too much hatred in a lot of society, a lot of the general public.
Mm-hmm.
They're tired of this or that. They're wanting to just make a living, take care of their family. Every time we turn around, there's issues, there's shootings, there's hate crimes, there's just all kinds of things every day.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to make sure our mental health is in check. These things can be depressing, they can be anger inducing, and mess with us a lot mentally.
Mm-hmm.
When we are surrounded by it constantly. And so we need to stay on top of our mental health and stay focused as a collective to make better changes for the future for our kids to inherit.
Good deal. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's just 2 minutes. Friday, got 2 minutes. Sis. What's on your heart?
What's on my heart is now I'm very concerned because this would be handled very differently occurring in Georgia, being that Kemp has passed this public carry without license or background check.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feeds this narrative of people that have this mindset to do harm, to feel more falsely confident to go out and do it and think that they'll be covered in some way by law. So we do have to make sure that we vote and contest for those politicians that put things in place and in law that really is the benefit who they're catering to. And I would not like to think, but I can't help but to state the obvious, that a lot of his actions support the narrative of whoever has been coaching this young man in Buffalo.
Wow. Didn't even use all your time. Didn't use all your time. Quasi, you got 2 minutes, sir. What's on your heart? Quasi, you there?
Okay, thank you. I'll be real quick. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're a little muffled. You talk directly to the phone. You're just a little bit muffled.
Yes, sir. Okay, let me take you off the speakerphone. Hold on. Quick. Okay.
Much better. Much better.
There we go. Okay. So what I want to leave this conversation with is that the change what we want is not going to happen tomorrow. You know, I've talked to a lot of brothers in my community, and they feel that if we go in here and talk to police chief, DA, city council, whatever, they should take on our issues and fix the problem that day. It's not going to happen. It's the continual pressure that we should be putting on the people who we vote for or not vote for to make sure our interests are met, you know, and also changing the culture of our communities where these type of events are not just sad, handled as weighing on the Black community, especially in this moment. It should be something that, as we as Americans, we all should feel heavy about this morning, you know. But I just want to leave that, because so many brothers think that I shouldn't have to fight with these people to do what's right. You know, what's right in their eyes and what's right in our eyes is two totally different things, you know. So you have to use your voice to push what you deem is right in our society. And that's what democracy is about, you know. And I'm just going to leave it at that, sir.
Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Got 30 seconds left over. Leonard, you got 2 minutes, sir.
Go do something righteous. Peace and blessings.
Wow. That joker didn't even take 4 seconds. Now, did I miss anybody? Willa, you got 2 minutes. What's on your heart?
Ephesians chapter 6. Read it. The Bible is a sustainer. We living in an evil and wicked world. When I pray and I ask God to allow the Holy Spirit to dwell in me, He's getting rid of the old Willa, and the new Willa is coming forth. I live by it. And if we can change that way on how we believe through our minds, the world would be a whole lot better.
Absolutely.
But it's not going to happen. Because faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God.
Absolutely. Toy, you want to tell you back with us? Toy, you want to tell you with us? Okay, I think I touched everybody. Did I miss anyone?
Yeah, you forgot I'm on here.
Yeah, Curtis and Donald.
Donald had to hang up. He had something going on at work. Curtis, you got 2 minutes, brother. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, it's on you.
Look, why we always gotta be loving and always gotta be praying? I get it, but I'm just gonna say it, man. Enough is enough. Look, your legislators have been infiltrated by white supremacists, Klan, neo-Nazis, or Nazi sympathizers. Your police department, the same thing. Your prisons, same thing. Every single institution has been infiltrated, and it's time to get them out of government if you want to have one, genuine change, two, a greater understanding of what it means to be an American, and last but not least, if you want to stop being mistreated, you're going to have to get them out of government. It's just that simple. You're going to have to get them out of institutions. If y'all don't believe it, look at that FBI report. The FBI report basically laid it out that pretty much all three branches of government has been infiltrated by neo-Nazis, Klan, Nazi sympathizers. But I mean, I get it. We got to pray and we got to love. But the only time I hear that is when something is targeted towards us. Oh, black folk, go and pray and love. Well, what happened when black folk get tired, man? What happened when we tired? We've been trying to love. We've been loving. We the only ones that's loving. Hispanics are the only ones that's loving. Not getting it back, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean no harm. I mean no disrespect. I'm like everybody else. I have some very powerful white friends who I would take a bullet for. My battle buddy. I would take a bullet for me. White. Yes.
All right, Curtis.
I paid for it. Thank you.
That's your 2 minutes, brother. We're ready to get on out of here. It's been a great broadcast. We had to definitely talk about this today. Two songs. What's two songs here? I'm gonna pick at him for a second. He ain't here, so I can't pick at him. I'll pick at him tomorrow. But great broadcast. Great broadcast. We touched on a lot. There's a lot of layers that we actually touched on today. Anybody have anything before we get out of here?
I like what Willa said. We live in a wicked and evil world. But it doesn't mean that you're supposed to live in fear.
Yeah.
But also don't walk around here living stupid like it doesn't exist. Or you can be an innocent victim, not realizing that this atmosphere, this element is walking right around in your face, doing reconnaissance, scoping you out, just to have an opportunity to do evil and wicked things.
Exactly. And on that note, Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
If you missed today's show and would like to see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, sir. Willa!
Hey, Raheen. I'm ready to receive the word.
Willa!
Are you ready, Raheen? You ready?
Let's go.
Amen. Father God in heaven, Lord, we thank you. We thank you, Lord, for allowing us to get up together, to commune together, Lord. Thank you for the harmony, oh Lord, being on one accord, Lord. Father, we love and honor you this morning, oh Lord. Thank you for your mercy and your grace that you bestow on us, oh Lord. But help us, Lord. Help us to become more discernment of the evilness that we see in this world, Lord. Father, we know that you can do it, Lord. Father, we know you can do anything but fail. Father, we trust you and honor you, Lord. Touch each and every last one. Allow the Spirit to protect them, protect their families, keep them safe, Lord. Father, I believe in you more than anything in this world. Father, I love, honor, glorify you in Christ Jesus' name. Amen, and amen. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Yes, Lord. Woo! Good job. We're about to get out of here. Now I got Friday. You smiling like that, Friday. What are you thinking about, Friday? What's really going on around now?
It's just that was a good prayer, good word, and I'm just happy to be here.
Good deal. Everybody's good. And I'm not gonna dare go to Rico right now because Rico he jumping up and down over there. I don't know what the world going on with Rico.
I just finished climbing a tree.
He
had me climbing that tree the whole time. I like, ooh, man, I gotta come down now.
There you go. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Everything was a blessing.
Absolutely.
Thank everyone for their opinions and perspectives.
Exactly. And I like what you said, Cassandra, when you said that everybody have their own viewpoint and everybody, have their own way of dealing with different things. And that's absolutely true. And that's one of the things that I love most about the Morning Glow and DKM Media Group. We give you an opportunity to voice your opinion the way that you feel it. We're not going to give you your opinion. You have your own. And so we give everybody the freedom to be exactly who they are. So to me, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Anyway, on that note, it is now 10:06. Y'all owe me some time. Y'all owe me some time. Y'all owe me some time. It's 6 minutes over. Hush, Rico. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:07. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light in you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please, please, please be blessed. And if you don't, if y'all are available at 11 o'clock today, Leonard, what's going on at 11 o'clock? Leonard, wake up and go to sleep. Leonard then went to sleep on us. Leonard got a show that's coming on today at 11 o'clock. I don't know what he's doing over there. I try to throw him an alley oop, and he dropped the ball. Man, he threw the ball on the outside, and then the other team got the ball, went down the ready to lay up or slam dunk or something like that. Don't know what's going on with Leonard, but we'll catch him up the next time. But
you telling on yourself, Raheen. You telling on yourself now. We know that you came in late. Now you trying to make up for that extra time on the slide.
I knew that joke was gonna say something. I knew that joke, boy.
I was trying to let you get up out of here, but you just kept on stalling. Let me see what else I can talk about now. Right quick, I got 2 more minutes.
I'm gone. Y'all have a great day. Take care of each other. Love each and every one of you.